You got horse sense, my friend, because there goes Palantir up through 70 again. So we'll take some more out here. If we can get a 72, let's do that. And just getting light on it. I mean, I hope it can rip up there to new highs. If it does, let's just hold on to it and see if we can get there. But at the end of the day, a breakthrough 77 on Palantir, and we are out of there. So we'll have to wait to see what's happening there. All right. We got a gift again, by the way. Bitcoin started ripping there. We got those 80s. It came back and sort of held that VWAP. So now I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be a decent spot to get something out for IBIT, because now it's kind of showing us that this, in and around VWAP here could be a trade where we're going to hold. So I'm going to put something in the teens to see if we get it out. We do have less than 5% now of this IBIT position, so not huge by any stretch, but at the same time, a decent look there for IBIT, hoping that we can go the other way on that one. Okay, so AAL is coming back in. There's the IBIT, Phil, so we'll take it there. Again, that's $1, but it's just off that. And remember what we were doing here before? I just try to focus, obviously, on what I'm doing. But when we're talking about giving winners, my stop here was 20 cents, right? We had talked about that. It goes down and gives us $1.80 on 20 cents. So it's that's kind of the relationship that I'm trying to have with stocks, a better risk to reward there. And we're going to try to do that with all the plays that we have. All right, so here comes Palantir again as well. Trying to break through that 75. So we took some more out. We're only out at 5% right now, trying to see if it can rip up. We're going to wait, see. It's not going. I don't know if that size is something. Let's put another little piece up there in the mid-70s again. Let's go. Blast through 72. We're waiting at 72. Hopefully we can get a fill. There it is. It goes through. Now we've got to get through this 75 level. There it is. We're at 78. Bang, 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 and Neil Moore coming through right now as there goes Palantir. It's a 30-cent win on this name as it goes higher. Let's see if we can get back into these levels. We'll always take something out at 78, but what is that exact high right there? 77, 97. So let's go here. Let's take out some more 85s. We still have a spot on here. This is not we're just getting out of everything. We're definitely trying to hold on to that. We're going to get out another 5% here. Every out is going to be about 5%. So we have 80% left. Let's see if Palantir can go. Our next out is right here at 85. Thanks for bringing it up in the chat. I'm glad that you did that. I know Neil looked at it, and then it went right over to me, and I'm like, I'm long. So there is the long that at 50s. Let's see if it goes. Trying to have a problem here in and around 80s. Go! Great through that 85, my guy. All right, we'll punch a little bit out there at 82s. Now we'll wait for some 85s to get that going. AAL also at the bottom of the day. Let's get to the downside there. I'm going to put a bid here, see if we can capture that. It's right at the lows, so we might as well do it. And then NVIDIA is just a dream that has faded because we're now out.
Apple's falling.
Apple's falling, yeah. Okay, so, all right, maybe let's go over to Apple then, because right now NVIDIA, I don't have too much to say about it. I mean, we've already gotten out of it all, so we have about 10%. We have about 15% left. The reload, if anything, if it drops through this 144.70 area, we're out. So we're getting close to getting out of NVIDIA. I'll reload it one more time, but that's it. So NVIDIA a little sketchy right now.
Yeah, and it's not that it's sketchy, but Apple just dropped the buck and is coming in to view up pretty distinctly. The reversion on AMD is still sitting. I mean, it's got in the money 5 cents, maybe 10 at the most. Out of the money 5, maybe 10 at the most. So it's still doing its same thing. EA, I just took some out in front of the even dollars, so got 60 pennies on the first look. The low of the day is at 116, but try to focus on what's next. And Apple at VWAP is a bit of a, I'd say, priority. It's trying to hold on to the trend. First things first, it could still manage to hold this trend line, although it's not really feeling like it. So either we get into VWAP and bounce, or we wait for it to hold on to that trend line here on Apple. So that feels like it's going to be the next thing. EA just pulled right back in. Looks like it wants to hunt this low. Here, let's do this, because I actually didn't show you guys this on the daily chart. If you go all the way out on EA and just zoom way out here, you'll find this low in March. Essentially, you got some wicks down here, but you've got 108, as that low, there's nothing in terms of supply zones or support until you get to that 108. And then the top of the range when it bounced off of it was about here, 115, 116. So this bottom channel in like 2023, which is the last time EA was this bad, you are setting up right in front of it. So scalping into that low makes some sense. This is not the short off 122. This isn't even the short off of VWAP. You're shorter close to the low of the day on EA as that one continues to bleed. AMD, we now have it. I ideally wanted to get an average price in the 80 range here. Wasn't able to accomplish that. So effectively, it's still going to be the same trade, just with a bit of a tighter stop. I was giving it above this wick, but I'm going to go with the prior bar here. So prior bar high, which is 122.95 on AMD. So basically, like, let it work faster with a tighter range because it's showing me the consolidation range. So instead of giving it to the high, just give it to these closes on the bar, stick within the rules, and then a pull back into VWAP. As we go to Adara, good time for a crypto update. It's been all over the place, Bitcoin today. All over the place.
Nothing short of crypto chaos here. I actually have the 15-minute chart up so you guys can see just the immense amount of volume and directional changes that we've seen in crypto. Why is this happening, you may ask? Well, part of it does have to do with Donald Trump here taking the stage at the World Economic Forum in half an hour. That's right, he is set to speak at 11 a.m. Eastern. However, Senator Cynthia Lummis of Wyoming added some fun crypto zest here as well, basically tweeting, big things are coming at 10 a.m. using the Bitcoin symbol for the letter B. People assumed that maybe she had the time wrong. It was potentially Trump related from what I was seeing online. Actually, though, it was a vote as to whether or not she should be the new head of the Senate's subcommittee for digital assets. It's unclear what the results of that vote were, and I haven't seen any other announcements, but that's definitely on watch. Keep an eye there on Cynthia Lummis. But in terms of other Bitcoin-related moves, we did also have this other most recent push to the upside around 10:15. That is when we actually had some things circulating around here that Trump is set to sign an executive order that will be taking place at 2:30 Eastern. Now, does that have to do with crypto? We don't know, but we know people are waiting on the crypto executive order, so anything that suggests something of that nature will lead to some excitement. Be very careful if you're involved in crypto or any adjacent tickers today, guys. Now, in terms of Bitcoin, basically flat on the day after all of that hubbub, up about, we're currently hanging out around that 104 halves area. Ethereum down on the day, though, and pretty much everything is following Ethereum. Solana down about 3.5%, Dogecoin down about 3%, Cardano down about 1%. So be very careful in the crypto space, especially if you're trading Bitcoin. Should be tons of volatility, guys. Back to you.
Let's go. Thank you, Adara, for that update. You come back to just a barrage of all of this. There it goes, Neil. I'm glad that you guys talked about that, man. There's Palantir. Nice move to the upside. What a play, man. We just tweeted it at Brian Shannon. Hey, man, there's one thing about actually talking about trading off VWAP and making those plays. There's another thing of putting them on. So we'll say what's up to Alpha Trends right there on VWAP. Our good friend Brian Shannon right there, all about VWAP. And there it is right there. Nice take on it. Bounces through it, holds it. We go long, and now it's even higher, of course, than where we had tweeted it out at. But there it goes. Nice move up on that side. And then, yeah, man, we get a little aggressive with NVIDIA because, again, if you're going to sit here and trade and believe in something, let's just believe in it. So there goes NVIDIA. There's the reload at 145. There's another 50-cent winner. So, again, like we talked about this with the FUD farmer and so on and so forth. It's just like, this is what that's another 50 cents right there on that reload, right? Like these are reloaded positions right there back up to the upside. So it's just taking dollars and dollars on these every time, even though it's not moving a dollar. So hopefully we can get back up to the upside. My next offer right now is in the 60s. So far so good here with that NVIDIA, just really holding the fort. More outs. We talked about VWAP, so we're getting more outs here on IBIT. Again, bad trade early, good trade late. And then really, for me, Apple might be at a reloaded spot right now. We are very, very long the market. We're long on NVIDIA. NVIDIA is really, Neil, starting to go, man. This is going to be a good stock. And then even just this, again, we talked about P&Ls and all that. Like Palantir right here is now P&L number 2. And we had just put that on. So there you go, man. Like not a bad opportunity here for PLTR. Let's just see what winds up happening up into 78, 78.50. So yeah, Palantir trying to go for us. Nice trade to the long side so far in the market as it goes right back up to highs. Might be a fade spot.
Palantir was strong all morning long. I don't know. Like, it was the first stock to pop off and really break out that I saw. I mean, even Apple, which is so strong in a general sense, I don't know if it was as parabolic. The Apple's at VWAP, you already mentioned it, so we were waiting for either the trend to hold, didn't, or bounce off VWAP. But then similar thing on a reversion here in AMD. Like, the second NVIDIA bounced off of VWAP in there, AMD pulled right back into prior resistance level, and it bounces. So take an even right here. So took a couple of legs out, tighten the stop into this prior bar high, which is now like 89. So if we break this, or like 122.90, this is a little bit of a downward trend that it just put in. Either that takes us to VWAP, or it breaks it back out, and we've scalped out, and then we'll walk away from AMD a second time. Actually, not a second time. Yeah, technically a second time, because the first time we were all out at the bottom, and then a couple of times we got some profit and then stopped out, which is fine, but you've got to know when to get out of dodge at times on these names. Not always is it going to just go instantly in the money for you and then continue to work. So Apple off of VWAP, it just did. So there's your bounce off VWAP. Pretty much to a T, this bounced off VWAP. And let's see if we can get the continuation on AAPL. Sean Neal in the chat. That's a good way to get attention. Literally, the name Sean Neal in the chat saying Netflix on auto. I don't know exactly what that means. I'm going to assume that means it's going a little bit ham to the upside. Okay, well, that assumption would be correct. Now Netflix decides to remember that it blew things away. And yeah, blasting to the upside is Netflix. Still under 1,000 though. Remember yesterday? Like yesterday, it lost 1,000 instantly at the open, then see that lower high. So it's probably going to run into a little bit of resistance psychologically. You know, 990 and 1,000 are going to be big levels there for Netflix. But yeah, good look. This one's absolutely blasting. Sometimes it just has to settle down a day.
All right, we want to make sure that everybody gets the opportunity right now immediately to scan that QR code that you see on our screen. That's going to get you access to eSignal. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade your trading experience to an elite one. You want to be able to have reliability on your platform. eSignal with connection to over 50 plus brokers, extremely easy to use. You are right about those world-class charts. I've been using these for over 22 years. You can analyze, strategize, capitalize, foresee profitable opportunities with your own needs. The back testing is unbelievable. Tick charts, everything you could hope for with eSignal. And the best part about it for me is its reliability. It's been up for if it goes down, then I'm having internet problems, right? I mean, that's something that's very, very important for all of us. They're charting that has truly changed the game. I love this feature right here on the screen. It's all about the scanners. I mean, I'll pull one up for you after this. I use them live on the air all the time to find out what stocks are pumping the volume, where we're going, what's at 52-week highs, what's at VWAP. You can customize with eSignal, super easy, and entitlement based. You can look at many different markets worldwide through their entitlement system. So I really like eSignal, extremely reliable. Upgrade your trading experience with the best charts in the game. It's eSignal. Scan that QR code. Trade smarter, not harder. Thank you, eSignal, one more time for that. And I mean, here it is. This is something that I use right now. This is the trade rate indicator, and it's just going to show me which stocks are really starting to go through volume right now, and they're not always going to be the ones that you expect. So watch out for that. It's pretty important. There it is, changing right there on the fly, updating, giving you all the names that are moving right, in one easy place. So for me and for you that are going back and forth with everything, obviously that's something that's pretty important there. All right, Palantir, more outs at 70s there. That's a good one. And here we go again. It is our boy here, NVIDIA, starting to get excited again, up to 146. We were waiting at 146. Let's put something now in the 70s and in the 80s. Get us those 79s. There it is. Yes, sir. That's a good trade and a good reload there on NVIDIA. And just one thing here, I just wanted to say here, because I talked to you earlier, the FUD farm. Sean, I love you so much. I love you too, FUD Farm. And I'm just glad that, you're putting in topics, we're talking about them, and it's really encouraging to get that back and forth, right? I mean, it's just like some trades, like Neil went over to Palantir, talked about it, didn't really like the levels, was waiting for something a little lower. I was like, nah, we'll take it. Different styles for everybody. So that's why FUD Farm, it's very important that, like, you know, we talk about that and you wonder why I get excited when something goes $1 in the money, right? So now we can help explain that. And I'm going to get excited again in a minute because here comes 146 on NVIDIA. Again, on the list here. I'm just upset about Apple, but I'm glad we're able to trade it for you, and there's some winners on board with Apple. So, I mean, it's been a great day, lots of opportunities. It's 10:40. I mean, we're getting a little bit long in the tooth here. The midday show is getting ready to rock and roll as they always do. So get ready for Joe and Sharif to impress you all with their intense stock market knowledge. Was that good, Joe? That was good, okay. All right, let's go now over to the desk with Adara.
We're actually here at the screen taking a look at some of these sectors, which, much like the market, are pretty mixed today. Electronic technology, quite a few red names, though. Apple pushing to the upside after a couple weekdays over the last 2 weeks or so. Then we have electronic technology, Google, Meta, Oracle looking strong here. All three names continuation from yesterday. Netflix sharply to the upside as well on day 2 earnings, but Microsoft pulling back after quite the rally yesterday on that Project Stargate announcement in which it was implicated. Finance pretty mixed, retail trade pretty mixed, producer manufacturing pretty mixed, but there's a lot of names here that are sharply red. And then health technology is a little bit of a mixed look as well. We do have some strength though in commercial services, energy minerals, and health services. So super mixed picture across the board. It's really hard to find even any sectors that are giving you clear signals, let alone this market as a whole, guys. Back to you.
So a sector that's a portion of a sector that's going absolutely nuts. Vistra is going crazy right now, 3 days in a row. Constellation is going crazy right now. GE Verona, I know GE is the one that had earnings, but GE Verona is up a couple of points today. These charts, I was just mentioning this to Sean. Like, these are absolutely nuts. GEV and then Constellation Energy. That one on the daily, and then VST. Like, if you're not paying attention to something, maybe Vistra's not as on the daily, it's not as strong, but it's the one that's up 5%, like an absolute rocket ship to the upside. I just wanted to be able to show you guys that very quickly before we went back over to what we are actually trading. So, like, Apple's going to be a weird one in that it never really presented itself. Heck, it never dipped into the prior highs. Yesterday's highs, this 223, it just never happened. And then it just started respecting, dip into this low, wait for the confirmation candle, dip into VWAP, get it the second time through VWAP, but it can still put in a lower high here. I want to be able to respect that. Let's see about, it's Amazon that I've ignored all morning. And now it looks distinctly different. Amazon, bit of a tank is not the right, it is the right word. Bit of a tank this morning, now coming right back into yesterday's all-time high. If this can, I don't want it getting back into VWAP. Ideally, I think that's a pretty hefty pullback. But if it could hold on to trend in front of VWAP, I think this is worth some continuation plays into the upside before it breaks an all-time high on Amazon. I'm willing to take in an all-time high break, but I'd rather find a dip trade that makes sense before we get there. And then an update on EA. I'm not holding this trade into VWAP. I think I said that before. If we're not shorting it, we liked VWAP. We could have got it. We liked 122 short. But if I can't get it at VWAP, I'm not holding a 117.70 trade all the way up to 119. This is an SSR stock, meaning it's short sell restricted, and the bounces can be very, very nasty when they catch a bid. So I'll let this one get to VWAP. That last trade will be closer to flat than anything else. We took some profit out, but then we had a break-even stop on EA. We'll let this get to VWAP. The original plan was to short it off of VWAP like we did right in here on EA Sports. And Chris L., you're absolutely right. Caterpillar is bulldozing the bears. I wish I had thought of that pun myself. I love Caterpillar. It's one of my bigger holdings in the personal account. Actually, I think it's my second biggest non-tech holding that isn't an index is Caterpillar. Technically, it's still Eli Lilly, even though I've sold a couple times, is number one non-tech holding. But Caterpillar is bulldozing everybody. And the infrastructure spend, it ain't going anywhere. Someone's got to build these data centers.
I really only own tech names. I don't actually own Caterpillar. I wish I did. All right, so NVIDIA, again, just bouncing off of 146. It came up here. That's now 3 times, basically. So we're starting to empty the clip. And it was a good one because we a couple times. All right, Palantir, same thing. It's bouncing its head off 78, so we're getting some more out here. We talked about sort of the risk and reward on this one. It's here now. So the reward is here, so let's take it out so we don't risk. That's a good play. If it comes up to 78.20, that's been our best out, is like 78.15. I'm going to wait for 78.20 and then possibly the high there, as Palantir is basically tomorrow away from all-time highs. So we'll wait to see if that can happen for them. There goes, look, yesterday you mentioned about, and again, we'll talk about all these different things. Yesterday, the all-time high was 233 on Amazon. We punched that one, and that was a banger to the long one. That broke yesterday on Amazon. So maybe to Neil's point about its all-time high, there was 233 right there. So boom to the upside, and man, did it go all the way up, which we have some outs. You can go over on Twitter and find out my trading from yesterday, but right into there, 235.40 or so, that key level. I won't be here because we're going to go to the gym, but that's going to be a good breaks possibility right there. So $1 in the money on NVIDIA, 50 cents in the money on Palantir. I'm not even worried about this, as we're still going to use that as our out. We have less than 5% left, and we discussed that down here. Remember when we were down here, and it was like, wow, we got all the way to the 200 period, excuse me, and we were hitting the bang and this and that and blah, blah, blah. This is where we cash out, man. You have to cash out when stocks go like this. So there it is, a parabolic move to the downside. Cash out. Like, I blinked and was like, huh, we're in the money? Like, anyways, that's it, that's that. And then there goes, Neil, the runner of hopefully all runners for me into the end of the day here. Palantir going right now, NVIDIA going, and just really putting a sort of a capper on the day. But the one thing is, while I'm gone, something's going to get delivered here, and it is
wings.
What's for lunch right now? So what's for lunch later? Yeah, we'll figure that all out. We'll order some wings and get them going there for Wingstop. Yeah, but Randy's not going to be here. So we'll just do it today. We'll get a couple of wings. We'll get them like around 1:30 or so. The boys can have them on air, and that will make sense because I'll come back and figure that out.
Wings, baby.
Yeah, sure. But today what's for lunch is roasted thyme and rosemary crusted chicken thighs. One of my favorite cuts of chicken. We had some, oh man, I got some flour, put in the oven last night, wings, and then put some Thai sauce on them. Oh man, those were really, 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 really nice right there. So my kids were like, we don't like meat with bones, but they actually ate pretty much all. Come on. They're really ridiculous. Now they eat meat with bones, I'll tell you that much. All right, steamed white rice on the side with a little broccoli and snap peas. So that was good. Oh, with roasted whole mushrooms. I like shrooms. Those are pretty good. The mushrooms, they are good. So,
Freudian
all right,
slip.
There we go. Yeah, I've never actually done the other kind of shrooms, but here we go. Right now to the upside, Palantir really starting to go, man. And it is the face slapper. It is the jaw dropper right there. It is Palantir, baby. So if you're chilling out with me, you've got Palantir, NVIDIA, and you're feeling pretty good about yourself. Adara, how are you feeling?
We're doing okay over here. Thank you, Sean. We're going to actually do money talks, but really quickly, I want to keep an eye on crypto. We know we've been watching crypto basically all day. Donald Trump is apparently set to sign, or rumored to sign, an undisclosed executive order at 2:30 p.m. People really are waiting for this crypto executive order, so that's absolutely going to be on watch. Donald Trump himself speaking in about 10 minutes at Davos, the World Economic Forum. But also of note here on the crypto side, before we get to money talks, Senator Cynthia Lummis, as mentioned, she shared a post about big things coming, using the B as in the Bitcoin symbol. And then that post has since been deleted. So she kept her post saying, stay tuned for 10 a.m., but the other part of that post has since been deleted. So interesting stuff there. Cynthia Lummis teasing a Bitcoin announcement and then revoking said tease. So with that in mind, we're going to take a look here at the US dollar. It has been an incredibly light week for economic data. We have not had any speakers yet. This week, we've not had any prints, but tomorrow we're going to get a little bit exciting here in terms of economic data. 9:45, we're going to get some S&P manufacturing PMI. Then at 10 a.m., we're going to be getting the final University of Michigan consumer sentiment print for the month of January, as well as some home sales data. So finally, getting some economic data on a pretty slow week on that front, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, very slow week. Data-wise, although this morning with the jobs number, we're earnings season anyways. I think we're going to care more about earnings than we are about economic data for the next couple of quarters. But that's
forever.
That's just
the Fed doesn't mean
at least. That's what I'm saying. At least the next couple of quarters. I think the Fed can always come back to meaning a little bit more. But at this point, Let's worry about that. So quickly, we're going to take one more reload into Apple. I shouldn't say one more because it could, if it doesn't hold on to VWAP, then it's one more off of VWAP, and then we wait for lower. So we're going to take VWAP again here on Apple. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention what's going on in these nuclear names. I mentioned like these biggies, like the big utility type names, but Oklo and SMR, wish SMR was up 12%. It's only up 6.5%. That's not bad either. Blasting to the upside. So I know a lot of people are in this one. Or maybe you're in SMR, or maybe you're in one of like. There's a bunch of these small modular reactor and nuclear names that are powering off. So this is a blue sky setup here on Oklo. There's not much to go over. I maybe look at levels for you, but all I can tell you is if you look at it from the technical prior high, that's 31.5 to the support level. That's like $8.5. Sometimes when you do that simple math off the breakout, if it's that range that it's going to put into the top side, that's like 39.5. So like another dollar is like that theoretical, this was the range from the prior high to the low. Then when it breaks out, that's how far it might go. 39.5. So Oklo, I mean, if I was in it, I'd be looking to grab some profit in front of that 39.5 just because it lines up very nicely on the chart. I'm going to go back over to AMD as the market's getting to a little bit of a crest. AMD just double wicked this top. So been patiently waiting for entries on this since it trended up. It does not break the prior high, and now you're getting another test underneath 123. So I will take another shot at advanced micro devices, this time with the stop at the high of the day. Just kind of being particular. As long as AMD is red and underneath this prior yesterday's support levels, I'm favoring the shorts there. If it breaks higher, I'd wait until at least you got to 124 quarter, 124 half.
All right, good look. Yeah, for NVIDIA, I mean, it's just funny because he was just on the AMD short. We're still that dollar and change in the money here on NVIDIA. We just got a bunch out there at 20s as we get lighter and lighter right now heading into lunchtime. Then we had a huge move up in Palantir as well, and we'll cash that out at the high, right? And so this is the thing. Like, no matter how much, yeah, cash me outside for sure. No matter how much we go up or down in this market, you have to respect the levels that have already been put in. So like, we're not trying to change the game. We're just trying to play within the rules. And the rules are, if you come back into the high of the day right there and you picking it up off VWAP, then you are out. Like, look, those that teach often can't do, but right now we're doing, and then when I can't, then I'll write a book and start teaching, okay? But for right now, like, these are the plays live right here that we're putting on for you every single day. Okay, so I mean, we're just going to continue to have some good feels here. AAL was a banger trade off the open. We don't have as many shares as we want. We got about a quarter position there. That sucks, but we'll take another piece out here at the low of the day again. And again, I don't need to write a book for this one. These are the lows. Right? I mean, again, if it breaks it, great. Maybe that's a new trade. But for right now, respect the levels that have already been put in. That's that trade. IBIT. Okay, so we absolutely flushed. You have to get some out when that happens. I am now, my stop right here is still the same thing from the whole time. That prior bar level. And when did we put that on? Right here. So right as this came back in, we had a huge move up. We called to the 5-minute chart. Shout out to Obi. He had told me, you know, one time, and we go back and forth. Remember, I mean, 2 years ago, I called him the Padawan and anointed him the next one. And obviously, he's the only one here still, so I think that's right. But right there, 60-30 right there to the downside. So that one, we used that prior bar high, not the wick, the prior bar high, which got us short there at 60.12 using 60.30. So 18 to 20 cents worth of a risk, and we got that. So that was a really huge move there for IBIT coming back in. So far, so good there. Randy, what's up? I didn't even realize you were there. That's just a quick little wrap on how trading's going
everybody
so far today. And it's been a decent one. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, we're doing wings. Yeah, I mean, someone else can order them. I'm not back. Actually, someone else should probably order them because I got to come back and then I got to record. So we'll play it, but wings are today.
Yeah, we'll pull
Wings are today. So yes, Randy. And remember, we got to get the jalapeno something. You guys want the hottest ones possible?
No, we're getting different types of Dara. There's a bunch. Atomic lemon pepper.
Dara's like, don't you dare put honey garlic sauce on.
Everyone will just put what they want in the chat. I'll get the site up.
Okay.
Oh, is my internet not
too
working?
Spicy there.
There we go.
SMR, yeah, I just texted my friend there because like he and I have been no, you didn't say anything yet. We traded Rigetti together. He's the same guy that bought Rigetti at 70 cents and sold it at 6. Then we both bought it again at 6. I sold it at 9. He sold some at 9. I think he's still in. This guy's maniac. But then I was like, as we were talking about it, he's like, give some other plays, and it was SMR right here. I was like, SMR is down at this level, so that's going to be a good one. Nice little move up there, another 10% there. So I just did this to him on the chat. So hopefully we're able to get out of, or he's able to get out of some SMR if that's his risk tolerance. But a nice move up there for SMR. Look at $28, looking like a nice little level there. I may actually, like, I don't want to cash out of anything, but the SMR run it's almost like a triple here. So we have to think about what we want to do with SMR, long around $11 or so. So we'll wait. But I like SMR, needless to say, and it's working out.
Just a day trader cut quickly.
What's up, day trader cut?
You guys know we get there's a catered lunch here at the office every single day. So we don't actually have company budget for lunch every day. We'd probably eat out every single day. No, it's just the reason we're doing wings today is because I think it was last week we had some viewers very kindly send some super chats on the midday show asking for us to eat wings, right? So appreciate you those that send in the super chats. We've done it before, like. We've had people that send in super chats and want us to have, like, here's pizza and beer on us on a Friday, and we just went ahead and did it. Crack one. We don't really do it as much anymore. Crack one in the afternoon show. But speaking of, and this is my segue to it, only 4 minutes to go here. I said maybe the last time off VWAP on Apple. It's looking like it. It doesn't mean the long is over for myself on Apple, but when we don't hold VWAP, we get out. And we wait for it to either pull into this 224 pre-market low or originally where we thought the trade would be yesterday's prior highs. So like prior day highs in front of the 223. Still a couple of bounce spots that it could go off of. And then Amazon looking a little bit better than Apple all of a sudden. When we pull back and break VWAP, Amazon, which was a great long pretty much most of the day yesterday and then late in the session, this is holding on at 234 pretty nicely. So the opening range top here at 234 is holding. Ideally, I'd like to see it break this top and put in a higher low and then work off of that level. So just a little patience with Amazon. It's actually still red on the day, Amazon, and you got to be careful around these all-time highs as well. But we'll see. I've loaded up Wingstop. So we'll order them. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I mean,
we'll figure it. It's going to happen. I think we're just going to make sure we order them. So like the midday guys.
It's for them.
Yeah, it's for the midday guys. I want to make sure
feel blessed that we're able to participate.
They get some wings.
No one really likes us. They just super chat these guys, which is fine. I mean, that's what we want. These guys answering all the questions. Look, join us on the midday show. And what I'm getting at is these guys, they spend a lot of time taking your questions, trying to educate you guys if you have any questions about, simple moving averages or some of the basics of trading. And then every single day they put together a lesson focusing on, sometimes it's a technical indicator, psychology, or whatever they're doing. It's to try to better. So look, I mean, I hope you can see some of the trades that are happening here. These guys are very, very active traders as well. So that will be kicking for you on the midday. But again, more lesson based, and we want to thank everybody for all of the continued support and the super chat stuff. Fabian, you might have just saw him there in the background. But okay, so that's what we're doing every single day. I want to thank everybody for obviously the continued support to everybody. Kyle's here, Chef Joe, everybody that continues to support the show and really watch us all grow here as traders, and hopefully you guys have as well. But all right, I don't have much else going on. I mean, NVIDIA is just kind of hovering right now at 146. We sort of talked about some of the levels there on NVDA and what we were looking at right there. We got some out, we got some more out. We're very, very light on everything as we get ready to call it sort of a day here and come back and trade for you guys again at 2 p.m. So far so good here, but a little bit of nothing in the last sort of half hour as the futures hang out near the day's high. I still like to move long here, and we're going to get some more out as that does happen. So Palantir back near a day's high. So that's going to be the next thing that I think about getting out here as the futures kind of hover.
Yeah, and with 30 seconds to go, I mean, obviously Amazon's trying to battle here. We were just mentioning Apple's not necessarily done yet, but I think taking a temporary hiatus, if we can reclaim VWAP, there's nothing wrong with putting a rounded bottom in and just trying to get back in the same price area that we traded the last couple of times. Hoang was asking right in here, actually interesting. Any clues where you can find Trump's speech live? Shouldn't be too difficult, I don't think. Obviously, most of the major networks, I would think, would be carrying Trump, and we're expecting that we're going to get a little bit of action on crypto for sure. Thank you for the super chat right there, Matthias Lanes.
Yeah.
Don't feel sad. We just helped the midday bros with their protein intake. All that protein can't be cheap.
It's expensive, man. Eggs are expensive these days, too,
especially here in Canada. That I can tell you. I don't want to make the assumption.
I got 3 kids though, Mateus over there.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything, but we pay, like, prices here are a little bit ridiculous on a lot of stuff. It is what it is. Oh, Canada.
Yeah, you can't live in the best country and it be cheap, right? So,
yeah, I mean,
okay, guys,
no
thank you.
lunch,
Yeah,
right?
again, thank you so much for coming in every single day, and we really appreciate it all. Thank you, Mateus, for that nice talk there. And of course, I mean, we love all of the shows, and let's just continue to support them all. All right, for me, that's it. For Neil,
we'll be back after we've eaten some wings too. So let's go over to the midday and a little Nito with Sharif and Joseph.
Ooh, okay.
What is up, beautiful people? I almost took out the monitor, bro.
Me too. I thought I left hook there.
Welcome to How to Trade during the midday. That is your boy Joey Dang Options, and I'm Sharif, and we're going to thank the big boys for the nice introduction and the kind words there. Always doing the absolute most in a fantastic way. Let's see who's weaseling on in the chat. We already have a couple of new names I haven't seen before. We got Louis Trong, a.k.a. Auntie. I don't know what that means, but it's fine. Robert Isaac. We got Papa Bear. Shout out to Sixto Fee. We got Dabba Dabba Doo. What's up, T-Money? I see you, sir. Glenn Smith. We got Bot Ricks. Who else? AK. Uh-oh. We got Yoel Reyna, Adrian, Mohammed Ziad Rajman. We got Andre. We got Daddy Gator, the Soul Queen, the Texan. And he's got a nice picture of Texas there, the Lone Star State. We got Eclectic Passions and Ralph Woodward. How about Stevie B? Okay, I see you, Stevie. We got Dexter Fant. Who else we got? Okay. Bright Awakening. We got Andre Brooks and Justin Gross, J Skills 98, and Fan Myola. Okay. Sir Poopy Bear Hands. I love that name. That's fantastic. Round of applause for that one. We got Leon Scum 47 and Caleb J. Shezen Askari Bonkzilla. That's an OG right there. We got Jerome Hatt. Who else? Baggage handler. Where you go? We're at the airport. What's going on over here, bro? Ralph Woodward. We got Tony. What's going on, Tony? Tony's an OG. Jay Lee, the OG as well. We got Warren. Last one, Joseph. Dr. J.D. Voice.
Hey.
It just kind of looked like J.D. Vance there for a second. So like, all right, I'll throw that on there. Why not? Shout out to J.D. One of my favorite, what's it called? VPs? Yeah, oh yeah. I'm a big fan of J.D. Vance. Okay. Eloquent guy, family man. Class. Yeah. That's the way I feel about him. Joseph, what do you got? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I mean, it's look at the SPY. No one's really been talking about it this morning, but we're just shy of the all-time highs on the spider. So climbing higher, now almost borderline going parabolic. So that's extremely interesting. And I think that we do touch all-time highs at some point today, especially with the momentum that we have stepping in right now. So yeah, fantastic market. Tesla kind of lagging its peers. That's okay. I think it'll start to pick up steam. We all know it's extremely volatile. But, I mean, we got a banger of a lesson today, guys. It's going to be constructing your day trading playbook. But, Sharif, before we hop in, is there anything you would like to touch on?
Absolutely, sir. So you guys see I'm already involved in a couple of trades. NITO is on a short leash. It's going to have to hold that yellow line that you guys see on your screen. That is a 20 exponential. I got in at VWAP. I'm giving it to below the 20. Simple as that. I perceived support at the $1.25. I look currently like I'm wrong. The reason I was seeing that $1.25 because all the closing prints kept rejecting that $1.25, and then we had VWAP show up at the $1.25. So I was like, this is a great entry here on NITO. Doesn't look that way now. It's a symphony of lower highs, looking awfully flat bottom breakish. It's gonna have to hold that 20 penny area. Otherwise, we're gonzino. The other one I'm looking at, I'm involved in HIMX. Several outs on this already. The reason I got in here, Joseph, that $12 area, which was also an area of previous resistance on that initial bull flag up. So I'm involved in this one. This one is up 21 3/4. But as you can see, There are very few names on the small cap gapper charts right now that are not tradable under my system. They're all at or above VWAP. They're all big on the day, good movers, good direction, good continuity. I hope, underline that it's a good small cap day today. We shall see. I already taken a couple of hits here on DWTX, but it's holding VWAP, so I might, self-sabotage and get in again here, Joseph, because I'm cruising for a bruising right now. Let's see what comes. How are you doing over there with that lesson?
We're good. Sorry, I just got to send one quick message. Yeah, guys, you kind of know the drill, what we're going to get up to here. But I like to see the overall sentiment in the chat, as I usually do when we did the VWAP playbook and everything. So I want to hear from you guys, and it's just simple. I like the yes or no answer, and that's what you're going to put in the chat right after I ask the question, all right? So it's either going to be, boom, he's already ahead of, he doesn't even know the question, and he's already ahead of the ball there. So guys, just put it in the chat, yes or no. Do you and have you constructed your own physical or on your computer day trading playbook? So it's just going to be yes or no, and then we're going to see what everybody says in the chat there, guys. And then we're going to jump right into the lesson. Just yes or no. See if we get some answers start rolling in here very shortly. You
want me to take over?
No, I'm good. Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah, just waiting. So yeah, we got a lot of people. No, yes, no. A lot going on. Just waiting for them to start flowing in. And here we go. No. Okay, a lot of no's here, Sharif.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of no's. So guys, we're gonna send it off to Adara real quick, and then we're gonna jump right into the lesson.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, we might have to interrupt the lesson a couple times because Donald Trump is now arrived here virtually anyway at the World Economic Forum. It seems like he is just being welcomed in now. He arrived, people clapped, currently welcoming him. If he says anything of note, I will let you guys know. But it sounds like what's going to happen is he's going to give a speech, and then there's going to be some Q&A from some of the CEOs present. At the very least, I know the Bank of America CEO is going to be here. I will keep you guys posted as he responds. Keep an eye on Bitcoin, absolutely, and crypto in general here, because we are waiting for a potential answer on any crypto executive orders. I will keep you guys posted. Back to you.
Get it.
Yeah, guys, I mean, we got 5,000 people watching right now. So, yeah, a good contribution there from everybody. But again, a lot of no's it seems to be in the chat. So I'm curious. I know Wayner and the boys in the back, Obi, have extensive playbooks and how they journal and everything like that. So hopefully this can give you guys a little extensive or an inside look on what, just from a basic standpoint on what we're constructing and how I started. I kept everything really simple. And then I refer back to how we do the Playmaker poll. That's just how I started. Every day it helped me refine to find what I'm really good at. So I think hopefully you guys dive right into this and hopefully it works or you can take something out of it. So let's get right into it, guys. So this is just the intro, what we're going to get into here, pre-market preparation, trade criteria, and then data collection as we do with the Playmaker, all right? So creating a day trading playbook is like crafting your own personalized roadmap to navigate the financial markets. Numerous of successful traders credit their success to hard work and defined trading playbook. Pre-market preparation, detailed trading criteria, and consistent data collection are key criteria to the success of numerous amounts of traders, okay? So, pre-market preparation. Starting your trading day the right way is going to be a key factor in your session success. Proper and consistent preparation is important. Sharif hits the gym every day in the morning. I run my scans every day in the morning. I check the technicals, etc. Whatever it may be, stay consistent, make your bed. I remember one person who was teaching me about trading, he says, every day I get up and I do the dishes, and that's already a victory. And he's like, I make the bed as well too. So I'm like, all right, yeah, let me do that. You start winning right out of the day. I wake up, I make my bed, boom, you're winning already, all right? So checking daily news, sentiment on social media, as well as what is in the equities market seems to be catching the public's eyes, okay? So high volume, big headlines, etc. Keep an eye on upgrades, downgrades, and headlines that could affect an individual stock and even the broader market. This is very simple stuff. This is just you getting prepared for your day, okay? Check the daily macroeconomic data points and earnings during and out of season. So once we roll into earnings season, we really want to start looking at these and see what we got going on from a day-to-day basis. And what we're going to talk about next is going to help us refine that. So Here's just an example of every morning I just come and I check this. You also have Trader TV Live. In the morning, starting at 8:30, you have Sharif and Brando talking about any macro points coming out. So tune in at 8:30 and you can see the overall sentiment in the market. Like today we had initial jobless claims, usually a market mover. You see a little volatility step in, but not today, and that's okay. But when the big GDP, PPI, CPI all come out, you want to be able to pay attention, and you don't want to be asking yourself when the market is already moving, well, why is the market moving? Well, did you check the macro data? Did you check earnings, etc.? All right, so you want to be prepared in that stance, okay? So trade criteria and stock selection are key factors in consistent trading success. Being in the right stock with your trading parameters will help increase your day-to-day success, all right? So you just don't want to be taking random stocks. You really want to refine your trading criteria, all right? So stock screeners are a great trading tool that allow you to filter through the market and find in-play stocks that fit your playbook's trading metrics, okay? Analyze current technical levels, mark out key support and resistance levels for your in-play stocks. Establish potential trade scenarios, breakdowns, reversals, and continuations, okay? So keep that in mind, guys. This is stuff that you want to do, refining your trade criteria. And how do you do that? How do you find which stocks are in play and fit your trade criteria? Sharif has a small cap gappers stock screener, uses it every day. I use a screener as well too, and these are the simplistic criteria that I use for my screener. Look how simple this is. If the scanner name is high volume, that's it. I'm looking for any stock higher than $13, anything lower than 1,000. Okay, so the low volume filter, anything above 900K, and it's whatever. The more volume, the better. That means more hands are involved. Okay, and then that's it. The exchange filter, and that's it. That's when I filter these stocks. It will now break it down and filter out all the other 450 of the S&P stocks and leave you with a refined amount, and then the rest is up to you to do your due diligence and then break it down to see which criteria and which setup best fits your playbook, okay? But we're going to send it off to Adara real quick, and then we'll get right back into the lesson.
So for 1 year, Trump said the word crypto, so keep an eye on some of these crypto-related names. But Doge specifically, DOGE, he did not mention Doge, but he did say that he's basically approved and announced his Department of Government Efficiency. If you look at this here, this is the 15-minute chart. Largest volume candle of the last few days here on DOGE after that comment from Trump. So keep an eye on Doge and crypto in general as we expect potentially more announcements with crypto and that Department of Government Efficiency.
Go, guys. So we know that we have some potential news coming up for 2:30 as well too, but let's get right back into what we got. Now, data collection, really, really key, and this can help you break down and find where you're really efficient and where you're not, and then you can eliminate what you're not good at and then really, really hone in on what you are good at, all right? So numerous points of data can be collected for your specific day trading or investing criteria. Select and collect key points that best fit your system. Categorize your entries, all right? So 9:30 to 11. Market open executions, 11 to 2 p.m., midday analysis, and then 2 to 4 o'clock power hour and closing session, all right? So rank weight of catalysts, so you got upgrades and downgrades, macro data, news headlines, mergers and acquisitions, and then earnings, okay? So then also implement risk per trade, collect data on your risk units per trade. This can help you scale trades and setups you're more efficient in and reduce risk trades setups you're less accurate on, okay? So if you're not hitting those 2-to-1s or you're like half R or negative, eliminate those and then go find where you're really good at. If you're hitting those 2-to-1s, why are you hitting those 2-to-1s? Okay, it's from 9:30 to 11 where I hit those big trades. It has an earnings report or it's on some really strong macro news. Okay, boom. So now you have something that really fits your criteria and something that you know that you're efficient in, okay? So here we go. So journal as well as collect screenshots after each trade. Obi does this. I do this myself, especially after each trade. Document your psychology before, after, and during the trades. Analyze how you managed each position, all right? Were you antsy? Were you calm and cool? Did you execute properly, etc., all right? So there's a vast amount of data points that you can collect and then really, really dive into those. Eliminate all the ones that aren't working for you and then hone in on the ones that are working with you, all right? Document accuracy with short and long positions. And this is just some stuff here. We do this with the Playmaker pool, but the trade number, the ticker, the pre-market volume, the strategy that you're implementing, the time in, which session it was, the timeout, the risk to reward, so how many risk units did you use and what was the reward on that? How many shares did you take? The catalyst of that and the level of the catalyst, and then the date as well too. So tricks of the trade, we'll finish it up real quick before we send to Adara. So define your goals, all right? You don't want to have unrealistic goals. You want to be able to gradually progress, okay? So develop a repeatable system, really, really important, something that you need to do. Successful trading playbooks require structure, discipline, and data-driven decision-making. Constantly analyze what you're good at and dissect the key metrics that provide the success. Always manage risk accordingly and do not take outsized losses. And if you have any questions, guys, please feel free to put them in the chat and we will do the best that we can to answer them. But let's send it off to Adara.
There's so much happening here, so I'm just going to say one thing. Keep an eye on these AI and oil-related stocks. AI, because Donald Trump just spoke again here about the fact that there was a $100 billion investment from SoftBank. The way he worded it was $100 to $200 billion, which to my knowledge has not been confirmed. Then also said that this Project Starbank, led by Oracle, OpenAI, I have Oracle up here, Oracle, OpenAI, and SoftBank is going to be investing $500 billion. As far as I was aware, the actual wording was up to $500 billion. So be aware here, Trump really pumping up a lot of these AI-related investments. Also saying that he thinks he can get the Saudi prince to invest up to $1 trillion potentially in the U.S. So be aware here, Saudi investments could be a potentially good look for the economy. Saying also, though, and this is why we have a drop in oil, is because Trump has actually said here that he is asking OPEC here, or I guess asking Saudi Arabia to get OPEC to lower prices. So crude oil dropping on that, guys. Basically, oil and AI on watch here as Donald Trump continues to give his address.
Thank you very much, Adara.
Thank you for that. Yes, let's go, Bitcoin, man.
Bitcoin's going.
Yeah, if we can, we'll send it to you in a second. Pull up my chart real quick. So we're in here on some IBIT, guys. I'm looking for that high day break, and sure enough, we got it entered right at 59.80s, and then now just climbing higher and higher. And we know we got some big news potentially coming up in the king of crypto.
Oh, it is. It's definitely going. I'm in BTCT right now. Scalped out already, I think, into the mid 40s, but it's going to have to hold $8. To me, on the 1 minute, it looks like it's bull flagging. Here comes 8. So we're already a little bit out of the money for the remaining amount here. And I still have decent size on, but it's going to have to hold that $8 area. I see possible support at around 770. So if it gives way at 8, which it looks like it will here, then we'll look to get back in possibly if it sets up the right way at around 7 3/4. Here comes 8 again. A whole lot of chop and churn at this $8 level. Good strength from it initially. Shout out to Tisha, who was talking about this one in the chat, but I think this one, yeah, there we go. So it breaks down below 8 momentarily anyway, reclaiming 8 immediately. But yeah, it's been tough. I mean, I've had a couple of trades. This one, DWTX, didn't hold, multiple scalps to the upside, but then always getting stopped out for the remaining amount on this one. Likewise here with BTCT, lacking continuity. That's kind of how I feel with some of these small cap gappers. And then there's like the other ones, that OKLO, SMR, NNE, that are all super directional. I don't know why I've chosen to go with these bad boys over here that are stopping me out to no end. So a little frustrating to start the day, and we just got stopped out of HIMX. How many am I going to get stopped out of? I was just waxing poetic about how strong these names were to start the show, and then they all stopped me out, like all in sync at the same time. So we'll look, I guess, at these nuclear names because they're the ones that really have continuity here. I'm talking about LTBR, SMR, OKLO, NNE. These are the ones that are really not pulling back. And if they're pulling back, they're bouncing off predictable levels. Let's look at the chart here on NNE. Good strength on this one, right into that $43 level. And then what it ends up doing is it holds a 10 exponential moving average in a very, very bullish way because it doesn't even breach a 10 exponential moving average, coming right into that level. And then boom, popping up more than $1, almost $1.50 since it touched or glanced at that 10 exponential. Look at DWTX. Oh man, yeah, that's frustrating for me to start the day like that because, well, I tried to have this one at VWAP, but it dropped all the way down. Now look at it rocketing up into 705, 707. So good strength on DWTX here, but we won't be capitalizing because we already got stopped out. So I want to regroup, look at the right names, the ones that I perceive to be are the nuclear names. Those are the ones that are more directional. The other ones kind of flipping and flopping a little bit here, and that's not the move. Definitely don't want to be catching these ones on the wrong side, that's for certain. So we'll keep an eye out on these bad boys. Let's flip back right now to BTCT because that one is coming into that 7 3/4 area that I was talking about. This is the area of previous resistance that I'm talking about that I like for a possible holdup. The volume weighted average price should be noted is well below that area resistance level at 775. VWAP on my chart is around 7 1/3. So this is a little risky taking it over here, but we're going to give this one a try. Wow, DWTX, bro. Oh, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. Oh, no. All right, well, let's load up this bad boy. I just traded this wrong. Oh, look at this thing go, bro. Ugh, right back up into that 750. I really did want to take the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, but I was already red on it from the zillion stop outs that we had. So I was like, I don't want to get back anymore on this. And that was wrong. I should have traded the trade, not my P&L. And that was a bit of a mistake on my part, but we're still early in the show, still early in the trading day. Going to get my my bearings under me over here, and we're going to look to regroup, Joseph, do a little bit better, and see exactly if we can extract some profits from these here markets. We're going to give this one the old try as well. What do you got on your side, my man? What are you looking at over there?
Same thing we got going on here. It's looking like we might get stopped out break even here around 59.80s. But IBIT was roaring to the top side, so up now about 1.2% on the session. Slightly volatile here, guys, especially with the SPY and the Qs just tapping around those all-time highs. Well, maybe not so much the Qs, but the SPY is there, getting extremely close. So it's going to need some momentum to push through some of those key levels. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on that. We got a big trade coming up at 1 o'clock with the Playmaker poll. So we definitely always have to keep our eyes on the SPY. But here we are with Palantir. Palantir is really tanking here, guys, and so are some of the other big tech names. I don't know if these guys are big tech names, but it's definitely one of the most popular intraday trading names here. But now breaking through some key support levels is Palantir, headed to the sell side real quick. Nice strong 5-minute orb here on Palantir, now giving that back, forming this double top here. So we got to keep an eye out on these key levels, guys. You know, Neil and Sean and Sharif are always watching these, and we have to do the exact same thing. So when key levels are broken, you got to accept it for what it is and then look to participate, especially if that volume steps in. So let's see what Adaira's up to real quick.
So Q&A is now happening here for Donald Trump at Davos. I will let you guys know if anything of importance here or market moving relevance is said. Q&A, though, is beginning here, so definitely, I will be watching this carefully, guys.
Sounds good.
In Davos, man. I would like to take the trip up to Davos.
You notice how he didn't even go this time. He didn't show up in person. He did it via webcam. And I was telling Brendo off camera as well, CNBC only sent Sorkin.
Yeah.
Curtin didn't go. Becky Quick didn't go. So I was like, are they not, as interested in this whole event as they were in the past? Is this like a subliminal message that the World Economic Forum fallen out of favor? We all know, there's a lot of stuff online being said about the World Economic Forum and their influence and this and that.
Oh, but everybody mad about the jets flying in there and all that stuff, the PJs and
there's a whole other conversation we could have about basically ancillary industry to the World Economic Forum. Things that take place there that do very well when the leaders are there.
Oh, yeah?
Can't say it on camera.
Yeah, we're not going to say it
But
on
it's
camera,
really interesting.
Yeah, that is really interesting stuff there. Okay, we're going to send it to Adaira real quick.
So, guys, more news, and actually not related to the Davos speech. Humana is sharply to the upside here, up about 7%. 2 million shares of volume, so not insignificant for a stock of this size. And relative volume of 6.4. I am not seeing any news on this. Minimal social media attention, but from what I'm seeing, it seems like there was some kind of call sweep happening here for HUM. Keep an eye. We know these insurance names have also been pretty beaten up recently following the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Of course, that was a targeted shooting, which led to some negative sentiment in the space. So HUM, some of these names might have some room to run. Be aware here of that push to the upside, guys, with volume.
Thank you very much, Adaira. Adaira keeping us on our toes with all the updates, and as well she should be, because this is a very important time with the Orange Man possibly making important pronouncements about crypto and the effect that could have, obviously, we already know crypto was running before he was even in power. So it stands to reason that when he makes pronouncements, when he is in power, that it should even move some more. I just want to hear anything about a possible, what's it called? What are they calling that?
The reserve.
The reserve fund, yeah. So we may not get that at the forum itself. That might be for a different day, different time. I don't know. He may want to make these pronouncements incrementally to kind of take advantage of the headlines that he could garner, obviously, from these type of announcements, because they're not small by any means. I mean, this crypto reserve fund could fundamentally move the price. And I was reading a lot this morning. Crypto bulls are getting a little frustrated with the lack of pronouncements. They expected more. Guys, we're like a few days deep.
Dude, he started like on Sunday. Like, I'm sure he's got other things to deal with.
Right.
Sure, right. So, but I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Yes, sir.
It'll come, and then when it does, just be prepared. It could go either way. If he decides to do start that reserve or not, and if he doesn't, then maybe Bitcoin decides that it wants to sell off a little bit. But again, you just got to be prepared, wait for that price action to come in, and let that dictate what you're going to do. But here we are, guys, on the SPY. If we can pull up my chart here real quick, not far off of these all-time highs. We definitely can put a push in today and breach those. So only a couple percent, not even a percent, off of these all-time highs is the SPY. So looking forward to see if we can go and tap into those later on in the session. About 0.27% off those all-time highs, Sharif.
All right. We're still involved in BTCT here. Almost got a couple of prints at 88s. There does seem to be a seller in the high 80s that we can't seem to shake. What's keeping me involved in this trade is the fact that we're putting in higher lows, holding what I perceive to be an area of technical resistance initially. This time, at least for the moment, it's acting as support, but it's having a whole lot of trouble with the seller of note that we do have in the high 80s. So by no means out of the woods on this one. So we'll keep an eye certainly to see if we can get going here on BTCT. I'm also looking at OKLO. Well, because it's coming into an interesting area over here, which is a 10 exponential moving average. OKLO is the one I'm talking about. I think it trades on the NYSE. Yes, it does trade on the NYSE, okay. It's coming into the 10 exponential moving average. It's a 2-candle retracement, 2-candle red retracement into about 38 and 4/5. The 10 exponentials at $0.75. We're already breaching that area, coming down into the $0.50 now here on OKLO. So for the moment, it's breaching the 10 exponential. So I'm not going to get in here because, well, it's going to have to show me that it's going to hold up here because we're already kind of not doing that well, quite frankly, on the day. So we're going to try to regroup a little bit. I don't want to take trades that are a bit higher risk. That may be a little bit. So we'll see over here on OKLO. Just looking at the side screen to see if this one is holding up at the 10 exponential. We could try to get in with maybe a $0.50 level now as our exit. SMR and LTBR kind of doing the same thing. Same thing with NNE. They're all pulling back in a little bit. Oh, goodness gracious. Good God almighty. BTCT got stopped out again. Wow, bro. Everything. Oh, for everything on the day. Very frustrating so far, Joseph. I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah, it happens. Sometimes it be like that, man. It's not the easiest of sessions. If we were to look at the cues from an orderly price action standpoint, it's nothing compared to the SPY. I'm watching XLF on the side as well, too. So just keep an eye on that. I'm like, why is the SPY moving significantly better than what the Qs are doing here? And sure enough, here we just have bar after bar overlapping each other. So not something you necessarily want to see from an intraday price action standpoint. We like to see those bars in a continuous pattern, whether it be a pullback or a directional trade. So here we go. The Qs a little bit lagging. It's pure the SPY. So we'll continue to monitor that as well too. I don't know what you guys are asking me in the chat here. I don't even know if that makes any sense. But okay, yeah, here we go, guys. Oh no, he tans. No, I said he tans. No, he tans. That's why. It's why it's not because. Yeah. Anyways, guys, here we are sitting in some IBIT as well too. Let's see if we can. We'll add a little bit here to go and push for that next high a day. And see if we can breach that as well too. So a nice little add there. If we can get through 68.80s, then I think we'll look to take the majority of the position off. So yeah, that's my look there on the IBIT and the overall market. Let's take a look at some of the top volume stocks here this morning. You know what's at the top of its class is NVDA, but sitting in second place here is AAPL. They had earnings this morning, so strong report, but not such a good outlook for, I think, Q1 next year, or this year, sorry. So again, that can justify some of the sell-off here. And then we got IBIT sitting in third place as well too, guys. But yeah, we're going to continue to trade some IBIT. It's strong today, and some NVDA, but let's see what Adara's up to for the moment.
Keep an eye here on some of these mega cap tech tickers, specifically Apple, Google, and Meta. They were all just mentioned by Donald Trump. In his answer, he basically said that he thinks that the EU should not be going after U.S. companies, specifically citing some of its cases against companies like Apple, Google, or Meta. That he was specifically mentioned Apple, but he says he's pretty sure they're going after Google and Meta as well for, quote, billions of dollars. So just be aware here of these moves. Apple actually bouncing a little bit as of right now. So Trump saying that these EU antitrust cases should not be occurring, guys.
Yeah, Google and Apple were in the headlines today for the Competition Markets Authority out in England looking to investigate them further, alleging obviously anti-competitive behavior. It's a whole different basket on that side of the ocean. I mean, hey, regulation can be good to protect certain groups of people in society. However, it is very bad for direct investment. Just have a look at the GDP for Europe from 2008 on. Compare that to the United States. Back in 2008, believe it or not, they were fundamentally similar economies with very similar GDPs. That is not the case anymore. So, yeah, regulation is kind of part and parcel of the European society over there, and they have to pay the price for that. So we'll keep monitoring that and see what else Donald Trump is going to opine on. DWTX, guys, halted to the upside, 217%, $8.88. That is a good number right there. I do like that. Very bamboozling, at least for me. I was trying to get in on VWAP. This one breached VWAP. Mark decidedly got into that $0.50, but in fact, it actually breached the $0.50 by a couple of pennies because I had my stop at the $0.50. Lo and behold, I got stopped out, and then it's rocketing back up to the high side, up 217%. And here are the details on DWTX. It's an $11 million market cap with about 30 million shares, a little bit less, traded on the day with a float of 25.8 million shares. And the short flow, let's find out what that is. Negligible over here. Well, I don't actually have it from Trade Idea, so we won't have that data point to share, but it is halted to the upside. It's a multiple halter. If you look at the 1 minute chart, I do believe this one halted earlier, both to the upside. In fact, the initial halt was at 6.5, and then it did breach into that 5.5. Now we're halted at 8.88. So DWTX certainly in focus, a good mover on the day. I think it's the biggest winner in, at least on my scanner, up 217%, but it's not the only one running. OKLO, NNE, LTBR, SMR, they're all coming into areas of technical support. Whether or not they bounce off that area and continue to the high side, an entirely different story. I'm going to keep my eye out on these because they seem like they are the strongest of the bunch, obviously with DWTX being the single outlier. But what I'm trying to say is the nuclear names seem to have some continuity today. They're not the biggest percentage winners on the day, but they definitely look a little bit better in terms of continuity. So let's go ahead and load up. Do we already have LTBR? I think I did have it up. Let me just have a look over here. No, I don't. I took it off. Okay, so let's flip from OKLO to LTBR. And no, LTBR there. I think this is on the NASDAQ. There we go. Good. All right, so that came in to that 8.5, that 10 exponential moving average, and it is bouncing up over here. So let's see if we can weasel in. Why is a spread 7 pennies on an $8 name? That's a little expensive. That's all right. So we'll weasel in onto this one. We're going to give this one to about 839 or so, which is the low end of the range. And then we're going to have to give it a bit more of a spread between the trigger and the limit because it's a bit of a spready name. So that's what we're doing right now. Where are we in? We're in at 59s. It's showing me 60 up on the ask. We're going to throw a couple of orders over here. I'm going to sit at 67s, and then we're going to layer into 74, and then Adara has something for us at the big desk.
Dude, Donald Trump just said they're going to be getting rapid approval, quote, for building, I guess, here for the U.S. for the AI, but also saying they need to double the energy they have in the U.S. for AI to, quote, be as big as we want it. So keep an eye on some of these utility plays. We know VST was pretty strongly implicated when they made the Project Stargate announcement because VST is based in Texas, where the first investment is going to be. Keep an eye on CEG, Constellation Energy, and Vistra. VST, with this announcement here, Trump really trying to emphasize energy specifically as they get their AI plans off the ground, guys. Back to you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. I mean, we know 500 billion going into AI infrastructure, and with that, he said, yeah, they're going to need the energy to produce it, so they're going to get everything that they need on that front. So energy plays can definitely start to look a little bit better because it has been lagging a lot of the other sectors here. If we were to look at XLE real quick, and it's just something like, I don't know if I necessarily want to be invested in that. I know we're going to look at GME in 1 second right after we look at XLE from a daily perspective. And here we go. Okay, I thought they were going to embarrass me a little bit there, but there we go. Nice run here off the bottoms in XLE. Not necessarily the vehicle you want to be invested in for the, well, I shouldn't say that, but this price action is a little bit stressful. Even though the ATR isn't too vast on this, it's okay. Nice pullback here, but a really good bounce off the bottoms, moving up $10 off those lows. So really good look there on XLE. As of right now, I think that this becomes more in play. Sharif, what do you got going on, brother?
All right, man. We're still involved in LTBR. I'm back. I'm in SMR, taking a couple of prints, taking the squeeze here. SMR taking out the high of the day, NNE taking out the high of the day. They're both looking decently strong. 29.14 HOD, 29.15 now HOD for SMR as it continues to move up. I'm layering my orders, trying to take advantage of the squeeze. Multiple out so far. Now I'm going to set up at 30s. There it is. We're taking multiple prints. Finally, a dub here. Jeez, I was about to use some expletives up on this place. But here we go. Boom to the high side. But some selling coming in right now on SMR. Unable to take out that 30 penny level. Back to 26s. The high of the day is 28. It's not a bad look. So we're in at about the whole dollar there. So some room for us to run on this bad boy over here. Let's go back to LTBR. One print up in the 70s. Still waiting for the 8. So LTBR is a nuclear name, but it's definitely not a household name like some of the other ones that we're looking like SMR. You got the Katina man involved in that. His buddies involved in that. So more eyes seem to be on the bigger names than, you know, the small cap nuclear names, because LTBR definitely not one of the bigger ones. It's about $134 million market cap, so definitely a bit smaller there. So we'll keep an eye on all of these, because right now, nuclear guys in vogue as Donald Trump wants to expand AI abilities, and obviously with respect to that, you got to have the energy in order to do that. And it's not just for AI, guys. These electric vehicles, even though he's removed the electric vehicle mandate, you have to assume that EV sales grow year over year, even if not at the same rate. And if you're going to have more EVs on the road, you definitely need the infrastructure to charge them. And my understanding is with the current projections, we just don't. So we'll keep an eye out on that, guys. NNE is taking out the high of the day, guys. This one's up 24%, taking that 45.30 at Dara at the big desk.
We do have here more questions coming here for Donald Trump. BAC, or Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan, saying to Donald Trump, if you want to be basically kind of putting in all of these forces here, all of this economic growth, how do you plan on managing inflation, right? Keeping it down. Trump actually thinks these plans will bring down inflation. So keep an eye on that. We know that there was a lot of concern from Fed officials and other individuals as to what will be occurring here with inflation and how to proceed in monetary policy with Donald Trump's policies. So I think that is of note. Keep an eye here in the US dollar as well.
Thank you, Adara.
Yeah, thank you for that. I tried a little move on TSLA here, guys. I was looking for this thing to break through. The overall market is trending higher, breaking out, and Tesla's just lagging its peers right now. Is it in a breakout area, a range from a daily perspective? Absolutely not. So again, probably not going to look to trade this thing anymore unless some volume really steps in, because there's more in play tickers on the session, like NVDA, IBIT as well too, and GME. A lot of people are talking about GME, so I'm just going to avoid Elon and company. I think for the majority of the session. I know people say, "Well, Joe, say you'll do it, and then you'll go back." Well, yeah, if it sets up, then maybe that. Yeah. But I'm not gonna try to force anything, milk a stone, as I like to say, my friend. But here we go. Let's take a look at GME here. I know Roy and Kitty posted some Futurama stuff. But again, Sean pointed out the short float, right? The short float is 8%. What it was before, when it squeezed and whatever it went to, whatever price it went to, it was over 100%. So you're not going to get that same effect here, guys. I love that we like holding on. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but again, I don't see it going back to those prices unless something catastrophic happens. I don't know if that can even be possible. But again, a lot of money was lost in the hedge funds, and the chances of them allowing that to happen again are going to allow that to happen again are going to be extremely slim, guys. So yeah, that's my look there on GME. It is moving half decently, nothing extraordinary. But what do you got going on there? Now it seems you're getting a little fist pump or two.
I was trading like a gang buffoon,
yeah,
bro.
but now you're live.
Now we're okay. Now we're doing well on both these trades. Yeah, we're taking out the highs.
Baby.
Bang! On LTBR, bro. I was going to start throwing some slippers, and that's a euphemism for something else. So we're going to keep it. All right, so LTBR taking out highs. SMR taking out highs. I only have one out left on SMR, so I won't be touching this one. Let's see where this bad boy wants to squeeze up to. But it's LTBR that I'm still holding the majority of the position on. Okay, go, baby. Now we're knocking the door of $9. Currently, that door has not opened. The high of the day on this name, $8.99, with some size showing up at the whole dollar, some selling coming in to be expected, obviously, at the whole dollar. Areas of psychological support and resistance. I'm talking about that whole dollar, you know, the half dollar, and in some cases the quarter and the quarter dollar as well. So we'll keep tabs on these bad boys here, looking for that $9 break and take, I guess, is kind of what I'm trying to say there. Back now to SMR. 66 is now the high of the day as it comes back into that half dollar, which is absolutely fine. Now, since I only have, one out left on this bad boy, and if it's going to continue to squeeze in this manner, I'd like to be able to weasel into some more. What's the move, though? How do I weasel? Well, I see some possible support for SMR at $29. You had the initial rejection over here. So if it comes back into 29, which is where I'm in, I may be looking to add. But I'm going to have to keep a super tight stop on this bad boy. Okay, LTBR is coming back down. It didn't take out that $9 level. So we'll have to, how many outs do I have on LTBR? No, I'm good. So we're gonna have to hold on to this because we don't have too many more outs. Yeah, but to continue my thought here on SMR, if it comes back into 29, I'm likely to add, but with a tight stop. Now, I should tell you that 29 is what I perceive to be price action support, but the 10 exponential moving average on the 5 is around 28.67. So that poses a bit of a conundrum for me here. Do I look to get in at 29, because that's what I say price action support is, or do I stick to my normal methodology, which is to get in on the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart on a pullback? Questions that I have to basically answer and decide, and I don't think I have that long to do that. Now, I'll watch how it trades specifically, maybe around the $29 level. I'll specifically look at the bid to see if there's any big size possibly backstopping a $29 break and drop. If there isn't, then I may be more hesitant to place an order in and around that area. So lots of decisions to be made. Now, lots of decisions to be made at this level. I gotta send it to you because apparently I gotta do some favors.
You gotta do some favors, my guy. So yeah, we're gonna take over for a couple minutes here and see what we got going on. Someone in the chat asked us to take a look at Caterpillar, and you ask and you shall receive here. So let's take a look at Cat. Boom. Here we go. Oh wow, what a beautiful breakout. I know Neil said he has this in his long term, running into these all-time highs here, guys. Not too far off of them. Let's see what we got going on from a percentage metric. See how high we are off these all-time highs. So only about 3%, going on a monster run, kind of like the rest of the market here. So good to see Caterpillar moving. I mean, infrastructure spend, as you was mentioning, you need to build. So with that, here comes these heavy equipment companies, Cat, Deere, whatever it may be. So yeah, I used to do that back in the day, operate heavy equipment. So yeah, good stuff. I always enjoyed Cat. But it sounds like we got an ad read to do.
Yeah, we do. Just going to do this real quick over here. There we go. All right, guys. Are you a skilled trader but lacking capital? Prop firms offer the opportunity to trade with simulated funds, allowing you to showcase your skills. Access account sizes ranging from $5,000 to $500,000, and you can start with as little as $20. But with over 500 prop firms out there, how did you find out which are the best? That's where Prop Firm Match steps in. Prop Firm Match is your go-to platform for finding and comparing only the most esteemed firms with proven track records and consistent long-term payment histories. Access over 4,500 verified reviews, explore payout histories, and discover the best current deals all in one place. Scan that QR code or visit propfirmmatch.com today and find the perfect prop firm for you. Sorry, I didn't hear you, Ram.
Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff there. Compare 40 leading prop firms. That's it. Propfirmmatch.com. Find your match and scan that QR code and start scrolling through that and see what works best for you guys. So, fantastic tool there. We like that one. But what do you got going on there, my guy?
Nothing much, man. Just watching as LTBR continues to zig and zag. I got stopped out for the remaining amount that I had on SMR as it broke $29. So we'll keep an eye on this one. I'm very interested in adding now at the 10 exponential because there was not size at the whole dollar to support the whole dollar from preventing it from dropping. So but the 10 exponential on my side chart's around 28.5, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw an order around $28.5 over here. 28.55s. We'll throw a dip trade in there. We'll see if we can weasel into some here if it does come back into that 10 exponential moving average. LTBR continues to hold near highs. We're going unprinted still on the north side of 9. I've got a couple more outs on this one. Where are we in? We're in at 59s. It's showing me 72s. So I still got a bit of a buffer here between my entry and the current price action. So definitely keeping an eye on that. What else we got over here? NNE, LTBR, SMR, OKLO, all at the 10 exponential moving averages and showing you possible opportunities for entry here. This is what I'm looking at. NNE at the 10 exponential. OKLO at the 10 exponential. Likewise with SMR, and you already know LTBR is already doing that. So it behooves me to probably weasel in at least here on SMR, because it's not quite making its way back down into the 10 exponential. And if that's going to be the case, we'll see over here. I'm trying to make a decision as to what to do. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave that order active at the $0.50. It's coming back now into 64s. I'd like to see what it does, and then I could give it to below the $0.50 as well. Oh, wow, it already got an aggressive bounce off that level. Geez Louise. Okay, I guess it touched the 10 exponential and didn't trigger me over here. So right back up to the upside it goes. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get in smaller share size at this level, if it'll have me. And then I'll leave my order at the $0.50 to print if it does come back and actually touch the 10 exponential. So that's the move right now that I'm trying to work into. There we go. So now we got 78s on SMR. So here we go, coming back down. All right, let's go and throw in our order south of the $0.50 because it's going to have to hold up at the $0.50 here for me to stay involved. Let's go and sit over here, and then that's what we're going to do there, Joseph. So, yeah, what do you got over there?
Yeah, we just added on some IBIT here, guys. I'm going to talk a little bit about TSL. No, I kind of went against my word, but that is final. I'm not messing around with this thing much anymore, especially when you're trying to do the breakout plays and you get these squeezes on tight risk. It's just like, it's slightly frustrating, but we are starting to break down here. We went long, stopped out, and then I'm like, okay, all right, we're running into some key support levels here. Let's see if we break down. Sure enough, squeezes just before I could hold any longer, and then I just cut the trade. And now starting to break down a little bit here, but let's go back to what we got going on, and that is working for us, and just stick to that. So here's the IBIT trade here, guys. Enter here, a bunch of partials on the way out, and then nice add going into that test of the high a day. And I think it's only a matter of time until we do break through. So let's wait and see what Donald himself has to say, what that executive order may be. But guys, we're going to send it off to Adair real quick.
These Chinese ADRs and names are kind of going off right now. PDD looking really good here. TRIP, TripAdvisor. This is actually not a Chinese name, but this one's just going off here as well. It's worth noting there also is Alibaba. Pick your ADR. They are getting a little bit of a bump right now. Basically what happened here is Donald Trump says that he actually sees China and Xi Jinping here as an ally, specifically thinking that they could work together for a variety of purposes there, including ending the war in Russia. So keep an eye here on BABA, PDD, any other Chinese ADRs. They are getting a little bit of a pop here with positive remarks here coming out of Trump with regards to China, which we know was a huge concern here with regards to some tariffs, guys. Back to you.
Yep, right. I was about to say, rest in peace, SMR, someone wrote in the chat. Goss stopped out of that one. It did break the $0.50. So we're going to, I don't know. What can I tell you guys? The system ain't working today. I'm trying to do exactly what I do mostly every day, and there's just no continuity. Or there's more volatility, so the system ain't working. So I'm going to have to keep my eye out on that and, definitely be a bit more selective with the entries here because they just ain't working for me today. All right, looking at the scanner to the top side, seeing if there's anything moving anew. Not really. It's just still most of these nuclear names that are still doing the bulk of the work for these small cap gappers. I'm looking just to see if there's anything that I hadn't had my eyes on, and that's trading above VWAP because I just won't trade them if they're trading south of VWAP. So the mostly mostly nuclear names that are continuing to run. So we'll keep tabs on that. One thing we didn't look at though is the large cap. So let's weasel into the side chart over here and bring in the trusty Mag 7 as well as the Fuge. The Fuge just got into highs, baby. I'm talking about that 21,971 as we work our way closer to that 22,000 point area again. Joseph was telling me just off camera that the ES made all-time highs. The ES is actually up on the morning, up 0.2. The NQ down 0.17. So a bit of divergence there between the two. The Dow's up 2/3 and the Russ up 1/5. So the NQ only one in negative territory right now. Meta seems to be doing quite well on the day. It's up 1%. I want to say it's the strongest, is it, of the Mag 7 names? I believe it is. Yeah, Mag 7 related. Meta is up 1%. You have second line is Google, 0.8, but it's really Netflix. I mean, I know Netflix is not the Mag, but it's up 2 2/3. So good look for Netflix there as it continues to benefit from that earnings report, Joseph.
Hey, good look. So yeah, let's just talk about some more stocks here, just knocking on the door of their all-time highs. And we got Google as well, guys. So not too far. All-time high, 202.34 on Google is the all-time high. Pushing towards it. Let's see how much we can continue to trade higher with Google. And then SPY, we mentioned, not too far off it, only about 0.25%, 0.2 there, guys. 607.55 is the price that we're trading at right now. Bitcoin is really starting to sell off. I'm going to hop all out of this position here, guys. There we go. Lock in some of those gains. But let's take a look at Amazon as well real quick, AMZN, because we did make new all-time highs on Amazon yesterday. So an inside day, it seems to be the case for AMZN and company, the e-commerce giant. But let's see what Adara is up to.
It's worth noting here, yeah, so Donald Trump has now left the stage. The event has ended, so no more Davos Trump speech to be aware of here, guys. This is just DJT, not moving much on this. Back to you.
Yeah, thanks as always for those, Adara. But here we go, guys. There we go, guys. We're out of this position here now on iBet. Going to reassess. Had the inability to continue to climb higher. We did have that momentum pushing through those highs of days, which is really key and important. So it's like, okay, the thesis being we're either going to go and test the high a day and make potentially a new one, or we're just going to fail back into the volume weighted average price. And sure enough, we had the right timing on this one, and we got that nice move up here with the ad. But then we took some off, and then it just came right back against us here. So we're not going to hold on to this one. I do think that Bitcoin can sell. We are trading in a range here on spot, so we have to keep this in mind as well too. But we are holding some really key support levels. So that was really important. And in my thesis was, okay, if we can hold this level that we marked out as a unit here before, with those lower highs, and then now we broke through that with the momentum, which is really important, and now holding those as support. If we can continue to hold these, I think that's going to be real beneficial for this. The technical setup is there, but one thing that is, if that news comes in negative, we can flush right down, and best believe we're going to see some hectic selling, I think, in BTC. But again, if it goes the other way, then we're going to hit the teens, in my opinion. It can easily put in one of those 10K days, as it usually does. The volatility skew to the top side steps in on crypto and other assets, some other assets as well too. So we really need to monitor this, be prepared for when that announcement comes, and decide which way we're going to take this trade, or continue to hold on to our positions if we have good position as well. All right. So if our positioning within our holdings is extremely well, then don't hit the panic button just yet. You want to see it breach some key support levels, as I mentioned. I even told you guys before I made a mistake by letting go of some here. But then as we continue to ascend to the top side, to the northeast, I'm like, all right, let me build back into this and see if we can go and hit those mid-teens in the 100,000s. So yeah, that's my look on Bitcoin. I think it's still something positive to look out for, but again, this asset's really volatile.
Oh yeah, where's it at right now?
105.
Okay.
Yeah, 105.
Everything's green though on my Bitcoin watch, which is interesting because Riot. I threw Riot there on the poll for you guys because, well, when I put it on there, it was up like 6%. It's come down to about 4 1/3 right now, which I just didn't really understand why Riot was moving. I looked to see if there was a headline on it from today. There's nothing from the 23rd. There are a couple of entries from the 22nd, but anyway, Riot blockchain, or Riot platforms as they call themselves now, up about 4 2/3 now, 4 3/4. Every time I look at it, it's a volatile name. So we'll keep tabs on that. I'm still looking at the nuclear names, even though they're pulling back. Like you got SMR at the 20, you got NNE also bouncing off the 20. OKLO kind of did the same thing, bouncing off the 20 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart. They all did the exact same thing. Some are farther off the 20 exponential than others. Case in point, SMR at the 20, OKLO comes right into that 20, and then we have a bottoming tail candle. Same thing with NNE. Comes into the 20 exponential, bounces a little bit, but we don't have a change in trend. And what do I mean by that? I mean, yeah, great. We bounced off the 20 quick as you like, but we don't have a new candle to make a 5-minute high, so you don't have a definite change in direction, and that's something that I definitely need to keep my eye on today because I don't think that I can catch bottoms on the day. I just don't have the feel for the market today to be confident enough to say, oh, yeah, look, we're going to catch bottoms here. So I'll be looking for more, higher probability trades. That's what I'm trying to say there, lacking a lot of eloquence. So we're going to keep my eye out on these names. I know DWTX is still above the 10 exponential. It's got a bit of a bull flag right now setting up. It's got a couple of bull flags, actually, to be fair. There's your initial move up and then your consolidation sideways. Given how it was trading, it did breach VWAP on a wick basis, but on a closing basis, it was able to reclaim it super quick. And there you go. There's a second bull flag, and here we are kind of putting in the pennant, higher lows, lower highs, or bull pennant, whatever. But we still don't have a breakout above that 875. So it's respecting the 10 exponential on a 2-candle, 5-minute basis here. So 10 minutes above the 10 exponential, all the while touching it twice. But you don't really have a move above that 8 3/4. Maybe this is an interesting time to set up on DWTX here. I'll keep an eye on it. I don't have to be in super quick. So those are the ones I'm looking at right now. The MAG are not really to my liking on the day, despite the fact that the NQ is trying to get back into Greensville over here, up about that 29,955. So we'll keep tabs on that. Saw somebody in the chat say Fubo. Let's load up Fubo. Have a look at that bad boy. Where's my side chart? There we go. So this one was benefiting, I believe, last week or the week prior from its deal with Disney's. It's got a definitive buyout deal with Diz. It's been selling off since that time. Decent day today, not the biggest mover, up 6 1/3%. Got into about that $4 area, then selling off. I would have probably tried to pick it up at $3.90, given how many times we rejected that $3.90, but it's already breaching that. It's coming back into the volume weighted average price, or so it seems, which is around the low 80s, 383 currently on my chart here on Fubo, Fubo, one of the names that we definitely have traded on the How to Trade show during the midday. But today, I don't know. It's not the best setup. I'll keep my eye on it though, especially at around this level over here. If it wants to catch VWAP, then bounce, I think this might be an interesting trade. JV, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Bank of Japan rate hike expected at 7:50 p.m. Eastern. Any thoughts? I don't personally deal too much with Forex, nor do I comment on it because it's just beyond my scope of competence. But I just think it's important because of what happened in the summer, possibly with that yen carry trade unwind. I don't know if that happens again or if people have already de-risked or maneuvered around that. So, yeah, good point. Not one that I had thought about or one that I'm qualified to opine on, Joseph.
Hey, good luck there. We got another $2 super chat. Bank of Japan, right?
just-
Did you? Sorry, brother. I'm talking in the chat. So there you go. Carry trade, just mentioned that. So thank you for that $2 super chat. Pay attention, Joseph. But sorry, I was talking to Jay Lee in the chat. He said he just closed his Sox S long off of 1640. So yeah, good luck there, shorting the semis. And we were just saying, it's not necessarily an investment vehicle, right? So you don't want to be holding on to that too long just because of the decay, and it also resets every day, right? Because it has to equal to what the current price is at. So you need to keep that in mind. It's not an investment vehicle, strictly for intraday trading mainly. And then if you would like to swing, I wouldn't even go as far as that. I did personally in the summer, and the boys in the back were like, it's not something you hold on to. And I'm like, all right. Should take my money and run on that front. But guys, let's see what else we got going on too. If you guys are looking at anything in particular in the chat, please point it out. Love to take a look at it. It's kind of quiet right now. We do have some news coming up, and the SPY is just coming off those highs of days. So yeah, we'll keep that in mind. Tesla's still breaking through some support levels, not necessarily the long I mentioned. Juan Padilla said Tesla, and that's what it is today. So not having fun with that. I do think it eventually starts to pick up a little steam again, but maybe just not anytime soon. I think a lot of investors and retail are waiting for that earnings report from Tesla, so that's going to be a really important one. PLTR I'm seeing in the chat, NNE was the first one, so we'll talk about there. Wow, okay, so Nano Nuclear continuing to trade higher. This is insane here. Let's see how much percentage we're up. So it's over about 100% here. From peak to trough there, which is really good, 146% from the bottoms. So really good look there on Nano Nuclear. Seems to be the way, and I don't want to be chasing it up here. So you definitely have to wait for a pullback if you're going to look to get involved in this. But trading phenomenal. So that's Nano Nuclear. Good look there. Let's take a look at PLTR as well too. Starting to trade significantly higher. So still a little bit off those all-time highs. You know what we're going to do from a percentage metric and just see what we got going on. Still down about 10%, a little less than that. Off those all-time highs is Palantir. We know what Alex Carbon Company are up to, so bullish on this stock for the long term. I do think we see a 1 in front of it, maybe even at some point this year. Waiting for that earnings report, I think it's going to be really, really key moment for a lot of these heavy tech names, especially because the fundamentals are supporting these moves higher. And in order for us to continue to climb higher, we need that market to broaden out and these reports to support that. So Palantir, I like the look, but let's see. Let's see what Adair's up to, guys.
Let's take a look here at this market in our afternoon happening now. S&P 500 definitely finding, I would say, a little bit of double, maybe triple top resistance here, just below that 608 area. Topping tail candle in the 15-minute, followed by what is, as of right now, a red candle. A little bit of volume. We did just have comments here from Donald Trump as president here at Davos. A couple things were mentioned here, specifically saying that he would like the EU to fix this regulatory process and stop looking to U.S. companies, specifically Apple, Meta, and Google, so harshly. Bitcoin also on watch. If people were expecting any kind of definitive announcement or mention of crypto, they did not get it. Here's MSTR double topping around that 390 level, currently trying to break 375. Also on watch here, EA, Electronic Arts, has kind of been on watch all day after they're currently down about 18% here, releasing much worse than expected preliminary earnings for the quarter. So lots of tickers to be aware of here, guys. Also, day one earnings names for GE, AAPL, and day two earnings moves for Netflix. But with that in mind, please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Check us out on all of our social medias and at TTV Research, which is where I post and make infographics here and fun posts on stocks that are moving. So definitely check that out. But in the meantime, we will take time to check out Neil and his lesson of the day.
Hey, we're back with another lesson of the day here. Bit of a hiatus, but we're back on board. And look, I want to start off with sort of saying you can't, and I do this all the time, like you can't only show things that go well in your favor or like plans that are perfectly executed. Because I want to talk a little bit of something about getting run over in a fill, having something going parabolic into the price that you want to trade, and having an execution strategy that allows you to avoid the old headshot. And it's because of EA and the manner in which it traded that you have to be careful with when things like this work. So just to show you, like you can like a concept here of structure, stock, guidance, poor, tank in the aftermarket, continuation. pre-market high at 122, key level on the daily chart, like everything lined up that this was a key area to trade. However, at the open, as you can see here when I zoom in, the way in which this came to the upside right off the bat at 9:30 was explosive. It's short sell restricted. Sometimes you get aggressive bounces when that's the case. You certainly got that here. Now, the initial candle did exactly what I was hoping for. Let me put it to, actually, let's leave it at 3. 3 is actually good enough. We had a break of the pre-market high right into that 122, a rejection of that, so short on the way back down. And then instantly, this catches a bid. Now, on the 3, you're going to see it's going to end up catching a bid in front of prior resistance and then shooting back in to the upside. Here is where there's no such thing as a free lunch. When I see that parabolic move up on an SSR name, I know that I made the right decision to get out, and I want to look for a re-entry point. Obviously, when we get in on it breaking back down, there's a subject of luck to that. In that if it fail breaks the high, you can try to get short on the way back in. Maybe you get some running you over on the way up, but you try to add to the position on the way back in when it's working. The flip side to that level of patience is not getting the fill when it craters. It just starts flushing faster than your ability back through 122 to get a short position. This is the opportunity cost of that kind of a trade. So you've got to ask yourself as a trader in this situation, am I willing to take a headshot here, taking it going against me and sort of averaging in at the prices that you're able to get? Or do I want to take that patient approach? And this is about your temperament. This is about your risk tolerance. This is about your style of trade. And ultimately, if it's going to trend down, you can probably find some other opportunities to get in. I'm trying to get in off 118 again, or maybe you can work it off VWAP here where I was trying to get in. And that's the, okay, well, you might be up on the stock, but it didn't go perfectly for you scenario. The other side of it is where you can show that type of patience and you do get the opportunity that you want. And so like the example would be the flip side of this is something like Apple, where you adhere to like an execution rule and it works out in your benefit. In this particular case, Apple, again, I like the key level, the 223 area here. It never really tested down. You actually see it break out at 225. Well, I don't take the breakout trade because I was looking to buy at the open. As it's coming back in, there's a level of patience required. Yeah, it ends up holding, pre-market support here at 224, but I'm waiting for confirmation of the move in my strategy. I don't want to be getting in on the way down. I want to be able to get in on the way up. This is a particular case where it gives you a bottoming tail candle, tight rejection. Look at these closing bars, like 224.70 to 224.80 essentially. Like a little tight 20-cent range that this candle closes on the 3-minute, rejecting, giving you a nice little break, scalp into VWAP, hold into the high type move. So it cuts both ways. While being a little bit patient and executing on my terms in EA led to green, but then on one of my top ideas, I don't actually get all the fills that I want. Over here in Apple, it prevented me from getting kind of moked on the way to the downside and waiting for my entry point. And this is the key thing. If you are this style of trader, then you've got to stick to that. If I'm going to miss a couple of opportunities in EA, then I'm going to be patient and catch these ones on Apple. If I'm the one that's sort of averaging in and more aggressive to make sure I get those fills, then I might take a hit on Apple and then absolutely bank it on EA. You've just got to have a consistency to which style of trade you're executing. That's the important thing, because if I'm breaking my entry rule on Apple and then getting kind of washed out on the way down, but then not being aggressive on EA and missing the opportunities, I'm getting the worst of both. So stick to your particular execution strategy, because there's no such thing as a free lunch. Like everything in life and in trading, if you have a little bit less risk tolerance, or not risk tolerance, if you're a little bit more disciplined, if you're a little bit more discerning getting into position, then it's going to save you on some of the bigger hits. You're not going to end up taking them, but it will be at the cost of a little bit of upside. So a consistency within your execution plan is incredibly important. Know what it is that you're looking for. You don't want to be a trader that just jumps from style to style, because the other thing is it's not quantifiable. How can you ever refine your trades and therefore scale up if everything you're doing is ad hoc and on a whim. If you cannot explain and quantify your strategy, you can't track it. You can't know if it's effectively working or not because everything is a little bit too random. So in order to find what works for you, an execution plan is a part of that strategy. And as I said, not taking the hit on the way down in Apple is the same thing that prevented EA from being much bigger for me. And there's no such thing as a free lunch anywhere, except for here at the office, where you guys have gifted us with some super chats so we can get some free wings. So thank you guys very much for that. That's your lesson of the day. We got to order these wings as well so we can get them to the midday.
Appreciate that, Neil. Very always a sick lesson that just kind of goes without saying there, Joseph.
Yeah.
Neil Roberts, thank you very much. Every day around that noon hour, Neil dropping Neilage, as we call it around these parts, Neil's lesson of the day. All right, Joseph, we're doing a little bit better over here on this SMR. I've got a couple of more outs on this bad boy. I've also weaseled in to HIMX because it's at VWAP, so trying to take that bounce. Sorry, not HIMX. HIMX. The one that I wanted to talk about, SMR, is at VWAP. It's at an interesting area. I've taken out the majority of the position into the high 60s, low 70s there, but it's right back close to my entry at the $0.25. I do have this planned DCA over here, but I don't want to get in if it's going to be the only one of the nuclear names that I'm trading to actually breach and close below VWAP. That's a little bit of a concern. NNE's holding VWAP. You also have OKLO above VWAP. So the fact that SMR breaking down now below the volume weighted average price, coming into that $27 area is a little bit concerning. So we'll keep tabs on that. I'll keep an eye on HIMX. It's up 19.25% coming into VWAP, looking for that VWAP bounce. I'm waiting now in the high 80s. Over here, it's a tight spread on this one. It's about 1 penny spread. Let's layer some more orders out on this bad boy. I'm going to look in front of that $12 area. We'll throw out that order if it wants to have me. I'd just be more than happy there. Okay, SMR finding a bit of support right now at VWAP, and it's bouncing up back into the $0.50. I'm still waiting here in the high 60s for another print. 60 showing up now on the ask. Good bounce here on SMR, but no continuity. And by that I mean that it's not continuing to put in higher highs and higher lows. I'm looking for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. It's got to show me that the trend is done going to the downside. And here we go back up to the upside. The reason I'm looking for that, even though I'm involved in the position already, is because I want to add. Right, so if we can get that bounce, get that direction again, I can add more size to the trade and, obviously extract some more profitability there. Okay, good look right now for HIMX as it holds VWAP, takes out my order at 90. Now I'm waiting in front of $12. If this one wants to keep going, I'll add to this one as well. But these names have to show me continuity. Otherwise, I will not risk that much because I'm down on the day and I have not traded well today. So we got to make sure we're picking the right trades, keeping the mental sound, because every hit you take, I don't know how you guys feel, but I ain't no robot, right? So when I take a hit, it's like takes away a skosh from the confidence, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and a little bit more, and then you're like, okay, well, I don't got it on the day. Why am I punching in here? So definitely want to get some of the other side of the balance sheet going here, which are wins. So that's what I'm looking for right now, to have that consistency and to pick the trades that are right for me. Joseph, what do you have on your side of the desk?
I don't know what the hawk is talking about, but
who?
The hawk on
keep the analogies on hockey, my guy.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know if I've ever
Were you
used.
making an analogy?
I don't know if I've ever used any analogy referring to hockey. So I don't know. All right. Anyways, yeah, let's see what we got going on here with some Amazon. Broke through some key support levels. We mentioned this before. Identical price action pattern to the other day. So here we go, 233.84. Break through that. All right, let's see if we can get the continuation to the downside as the Qs are starting to pull back here, guys. So I'm going to stick to this until otherwise, if we break the volume weighted average price to the top side, which we might, and chances are we will, as the tape is extremely strong. So, the ballpark? Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, hockey. I see what you're saying now.
It's okay. A baseball analogy.
Yeah. So just keep the hockey ones going. Yeah, so yeah.
The rink.
We're gonna keep it in there. Yeah. So yeah, we'll keep it in the rink. We'll keep it in the rink. Gloves off. Gloves off. Yeah, we got a hockey game tonight too. So yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, Amazon continuing to break down, guys. I mean, let's talk about orderly price action here for a second, okay? And this just it turns my stomach here, Sharif. As you mentioned, you mentioned it's it takes a little stab at you. Each one is just like a jab over time. Each loss is just like a jab straight to the nose. And sometimes they can get extremely frustrating and do the most damage. But here we are. This is extremely frustrating price action. I haven't been trading it. But again, sitting through this is not pleasant at all. You're not going to have a good time with that. But compare this to the SPY, and this is something more along the lines that you want to be participating in, right? So the SPY, much more orderly here. Don't have to fight it too much. You don't have that up and down, that push and pull effect within the overall market. It's just nice and steady. It took a while for it to break out, about a half an hour or so, but after that, nice clean price action on the breakout and that nice steady volume. As I'm going to point out, as always, it's something that you want to keep your eye on and analyze as much as you possibly can. At times I tend to forget about it too, but again, when I refer back to it, it's like, okay, why didn't this work? Why did this work? And you look at the volume by time profile and it'll be able to tell you a lot. So yeah, continue to monitor volume at all times, especially if you're a breakout trader like myself. And if you don't get that volume starting to step in, then you can justify, like, hey, okay, this isn't working. Why isn't it working? Bang, the volume isn't supporting the move higher. So keep that in mind, guys. AMZN starting to pull back a little bit here, so not looking too pretty. If we break the volume weighted average price, as I previously stated, then I'm going to get out of dodge. If we can hold it, then maybe we can break down somewhat, and then we'll hold until about 233s, and then we'll look to take some off about that. Let's talk a little bit about NVIDIA. Sure, why not? As we continue to climb higher, it is dragging the Qs in the SPY with it. I was looking at 146 today, and we breached that somewhat. 146.33 is the high of day, and then we double top there and then continue to sell. So moving to the east here is NVDA, but I am bullish on this thing for the foreseeable future. I think it's one of the best companies on the planet, actually number 2 to be exact. So here we are with NVDA. It's only a matter of time until this thing makes all-time highs.
All right, we took out the break there on HIMX into 12 bucks. It's not forthcoming in the $12 break, but the whole point of this trade was a VWAP hold high or VWAP hold break. So keeping my eye out on that. And also keeping my eye on DWTX because it looks like it's setting up again over here for a breakout, and it's putting in higher lows. So this is interesting here on DWTX. So you had that 750 drop, and now it's coming right back into that area. So we're going to get in a little bit over here, look to scalp out possibly into the low 20s, and then possibly a little bit into the high or 30s there. I don't mind adding to this one as long as it's small share size because, well, negative on it on the day. So definitely keep an eye on it. I like the higher low situation over here on DWTX. Good strength. On the day, obviously, it's up about 190%, but it's going to have to put in that rounded bottom kind of, well, it's not a bottom, that rounding kind of shape where it kind of makes this area trough and then starts putting in higher highs and higher lows. Let's see if this one wants to squeeze. It's definitely a squeeze candidate, no question about that, but whether it goes or not, that's an entirely different story. Showing me 20s now. There we go. Squeezing into the high. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. It just took out all my orders. Okay, finally.
Dang,
I was just about to cuss, bro. I'm that angry today. Here we go. Moving to the high side. Good, good, good. There we go. Boom on DWTX. Take it almost at 9s. All right, now I'm going to set at 75. And then above that, I'm going to sit at 92s for that jump into the whole dollar. Good squeeze here on DWTX. There is a 75 print. Here comes the 82 print, or so it seems. Can we get an 82 print? We're showing 80s. Give me the 82. Give me the 82. Let's go, bro.
Let's go, bro.
Give me 82s. Oh, sorry, I'm waiting at 92s. That's why I'm not getting printed. I'm losing it, Joseph.
All right.
That's fine.
That's okay.
All right, finally we get a bit of a dub here. Good move up here on DWTX. Jeez Louise.
Jeez Louise.
That was hard to come by on the day, my man. So we're waiting at 92s next. So now I'm going to wait on the north side of 9. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait at the lofty area here. And here's the deal: anything below 8, I'm gone. So we're gonna throw the order out there for the break and take or the break and drop of 8. So we're gonna go 7 and let's go 96s. Bang! There we took out that level. Okay. Boom! We took the dollar. There we go on DWT dang X. Oh my God!
Did you get a dollar club there?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, hit the dollar club for me.
I don't deserve the dollar club today. I'm negative on the day, and that's just kind of the way that is.
You know what? It took me a long time to recognize this, and I know you went to school in the UK, but I'm pretty sure that's the theme song from Love Island, and that's why. And then it's exactly what I wanted because I love Love Island, and that seems to be the song there.
Bro, that's so funny because you've been asking me about that song.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh wait, yeah. So. Selena been watching Love Island All Stars, and then sure enough.
Oh, jeez Louise, there it is. Okay, DWTX taking out $9. I took it out at the 9 1/4 there. Good look for, or 9 1/3, excuse me, 933 exactly is the out there. 962 HO dang D. Keep an eye out for this one. This is an absolutely. I think this is a really good squeeze candidate. We could easily see over 10 today. It's 230% in the clear. There goes 9 1/3 again, Joseph. And now we're going to take out the high of the day at 962 or low. So it seems. Not quite yet, I guess. Zigging and zagging right now between that 9.5 and 9. So good strength on DWT. What got me involved in this one, despite the fact that I had been punched in the face multiple times on this one on the day, getting stopped out on dip trades, was that curling effect. It rounded. It showed you that area trough into 7 1/3, and then incrementally put higher highs higher lows, not necessarily higher highs. So I was like, all right, let's take that and then use the 7.5 as our exit. Okay, we're also involved here on SMR. We still haven't taken that bad boy out. Okay, so we just took out the 70s there. So I'm long 25s. Here comes 82. So we're nicely in the money on this one as well. So here's a deal. We're going to wait now in front of the whole dollar. So I'm going to wait at 96s. I perceive there to be initial area of support at 28. If that's the case, then it stands to reason that we get a resistance level there. That's how technical analysis works, or I'm told. I'm kidding, of course. That's the look right there. Once, twice, OB thrice, and then finally we break down below that $28 level over here. And yeah, we bounce, I'm assuming, at the volume weighted average price. So I'm earmarking $28 as resistance, and as such, I'm looking to front run it by putting my order out at 96s. 72s right now, showing up here on SMR, up 8 1/3. This is not like a squeeze candidate. I don't want you guys to think that this is going to move in the same way that DWTX. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but the odds are it doesn't, just based upon the market cap and the float. So here's the detail. Here are the details on New Scale Power, which is SMR. It's a $7 billion company with about 13.75 million shares traded on the day, a 77 million share float. And what's the short float there? This has got a good short float under its wings over here, man. 15.75%. Here comes 75s. Let's see if we can squeeze above that and print me 96s. Okay, I'm seeing DW dang TX take out 10s, Joseph. 10.75 now. HOD. This thing's up 260%. There goes back into 10.25 again, guys. DWTX is on one. I don't know what this thing is on, but it's on some good. Here we go. 10.75 back up again. $11 here, Joseph. 10.96 HOD. DWTX providing you with opportunities on the day. If you are a small cap gapper trader, this is definitely the one that you should be watching right now. Flying to the upside, likely to go 300%. if it keeps going over here. 10.96, Neil. Not a bad look on DWTX. It's a light one, Neil. Not a big deal. He's joking, of course.
Our good buddy Kyle Burdett, he's a joker. He's a joker.
What happened?
Just read what he had to say.
More inappropriate comments,
it's not as inappropriate, but he's funny.
Why did he change his picture?
Yeah, I don't know.
Big Kyle, I'm going to have to block your account, bro.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We don't know if
take out
it's
that
you.
picture like that, Big Spile.
We don't know if it's actually you now. That's
I know.
the thing.
Exactly.
Right? So you can't be doing that. Daily question. is whose blur would be?
Team
Oh, okay, wow, okay.
Yeah. By
all
the way, I don't like that Naked and Afraid show, but
Yeah.
I'm all about survival shows.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Large.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Let's compare.
Let's go.
Dual survival, yes or no?
I don't think I've seen that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's a sick one. Okay, so
Right.
there's so many different versions of it
Yeah,
because they
dual
kept
survival.
changing the characters.
Uh-huh.
But the original one, Cody Lundeen and Joe Tedeye, as
Yeah.
well as that other guy, what's his name, that who faked his military stuff. What's his name there? I forget his
yeah,
name
I'm not
anyway.
gonna be able to think
but
of it.
yeah, that was my favorite show. All it was, they throw them in some random area,
Yeah.
and they're
oh,
like,
yeah. And then they have the map and they have to do that. Is that the
No,
one where
they
they have
don't
to?
have a
You know
map.
which one I'm talking about though?
No,
when they
no,
have
I
the
don't.
map and then they have to race the other team to the finish line and
oh,
it takes
that's
a couple days.
the Amazing Grace.
No, it's a totally different one. And then they have the guy on horseback who's like hunting them down so you can't get caught. It's a real sick survival show.
know that.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a really good one.
Get
Yeah,
the
yeah.
name of that movie,
And
bro.
then how about Outlast? Have you seen Outlast?
No.
Oh, no way. So they
No.
throw like a group of people into Alaska and they have essentially nothing. And then these groups have to outlast each other. And then whoever wins, the team gets like $1 million or something
Oh,
like
wow.
that. Yeah, 500K.
I gotta watch
Yeah,
it.
are you going there? Yeah, Neil's there. Are you signing
like,
up?
yo, I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
that 500K,
Outlast
man.
is sick. Yeah, as a kid, I used to do a lot of canoe trips and portaging. I did the Petawawa River. Petawawa River in Ottawa there. So we had some time. I was on
Americans
the
are
river
not
for
going to
like,
know what portaging is.
No?
Portaging.
portaging. Is that okay? All right. So
Butcher all the French names
Portaging.
like Foyer.
it's portage, no? Yeah.
portage.
Yeah, I would say I
Because
would
it's a
know,
French
yeah.
name, Neil.
Yeah,
Oh,
portage.
he's pointing at
Yeah,
the water.
so he's like, yeah.
Watermelon over there.
He's not happy. Yeah, all right. Yeah, but yeah, no, I used to do a lot of canoe trips back in the day in camp and be on there on the water for weeks.
Sick, bro. You sound like you have more
Okay,
experience
so
than me.
first of all, I'm not a complainer. And by the way, the wings are ordered, and last update is estimated delivery says between 12:30 and 12:40.
Get
We
it,
know how
Daryl.
those go, especially
go.
downtown. But what's up with in my salad?
What is that, Neil?
This is a watermelon. Now it's not
Are
a
you
lot
sure?
of. It's like a single infinitesimally small slice of watermelon in
I'll
the
gladly eat
salad.
it.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not like the salad looks
I'd eat it.
delicious. I got like there's tomato in here, cucumber, and obviously some peppers in there, lettuce. Like it's pretty solid, but like come on, son.
Come
Come on, son.
Love it, brother.
You gotta have a little bit more than that. It's like one bite, just so you have just enough to make you want more. But we're excited for these wings, everybody. So go get them. Thank you guys so much for the super chat. We'll make sure we bring them over. We got like 6 different flavors. We did get the atomics. We got some hot ones as well. So it's gonna be a heck of a lot of fun when they do arrive, and tasty to make up for this tiny piece of watermelon. Go Rigetti.
I love it. Look, I gotta agree with him. If you're giving me a watermelon, I don't want no teas like that.
No, you
right?
need a
like
lot there.
give me something I can deal with here. You know, like
Yeah, but
what's going on over there?
They had the good mangoes over at Metro, so I've crushed about 7 of those in the past couple of days. Yeah, just I could kill some mangoes. My favorite fruit, that is. So yeah, once I get going on those, it's really hard to stop. Yeah, but yeah, back to just adventure and stuff. Yeah, so I remember one time, Sharif, we had a massive portage in northern Ontario here, and we were carrying our canoes from point A to point B, and I sat on a log, and then I sat on a hornet's nest. And my whole right side of my leg got littered by black hornets. Yeah, I'll never
lucky
forget
you're
that.
alive.
Yeah, so I couldn't carry anything any after that. So yeah, it was a good time. But up until then, that is. So yeah, a little bit of trouble.
Okay, I've been trying
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get one of my friends to do like a survival thing with me.
Yeah.
And I'm being for real. Like I want to build my own shelter. I want to build a lean-to. I want to build a wiki up.
Yeah.
I actually want to do this.
That's tough.
Okay, so then, okay, well, Joseph, well,
Yeah, hey man, let's sign up,
subscribe.
man.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
There it
hey,
is.
we got everything we need. I got everything we need to go up into the
Seriously?
north. Yeah, everything
I'll
we need,
gonk
brother.
you in,
So
man.
we'll go
I'd
up
be
there
so down for that.
and enjoy some northern time. So yeah, good
Fish,
stuff, man.
hunt,
Fish,
set
everything.
up traps.
Everything. Well, I'm not going that far, but
Well, I'm gonna like there's YouTube
We can make-
videos how to make like man-made traps,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
actual traps like metal traps like trappers use. No, that's not what I mean at all.
Get this-
I mean like legitimately like living off the land for like 2-3 days, whatever that they do. That's how they
so
do
much.
it in dual
It's,
survival.
yeah, it's so much harder than you think.
Yeah, I
yeah.
bet.
Especially and in the cold. That's the thing with that Outlast show. They do it just at the brink of winter. So yeah, you get really cold, and if you're not eating and you just your body deteriorates with every day that you're not eating. So you need a lot of food to do that stuff. So yeah, that's fun stuff, guys.
Live stream in the tent says 4-night chills. Hey, bro, we'll do it, man. If Brendo tells us, look,
hey,
you guys got to record the thing for content, we will do it.
We will,
Absolutely.
We will go up there and we will film from Northern Ontario. But
Look at this, man. Big Spile. I love Big Spile when he chimes in. Nothing better than wild caught beaver. Look, I've got to tell you, I've never eaten beaver, ever. But I'm down.
I'm sure there's a lot of things better than wild caught beaver. That's for sure. It's too gamey. No, I've never eaten it.
Apparently, the tail is supposed to be.
But yeah, that stuff is gamey though. You taste like the actual kind of game in it.
Okay.
But yeah, here we go, guys. Let's talk about some RGTI, but let's talk about some Amazon as well too, real quick. We held on to it. Look at that hold. Look at this VWAP hold right here, Sharif.
Yes,
I said if it breaks the volume weighted average price, I'm getting at a dodge on this one. But sure enough, we're starting to break down, and the overall market is pulling back too. NVDA is starting to pull back into the volume weighted average price as well. So I'm going to hold this target to the open of this 5-minute range here. If we can hit 232.70s, that's going to be Pony Boy golden right there. So we're going to hold on to this. It's working out right now. We're going to check out some RGTI for real quick before we send it up to Sharif. But yeah, looking really good. If you can caught the bottom here at 6, and then now you're about 100% gain off the bottom here on this pullback, Sharif. That's looking like over 100% there. So good look there on RGTI and RR as well too. We missed the dip buy on Rich Tech Robotics there, my friend, because we are slowly climbing higher and higher. So nice pullback. If it breaks this high, then man, this thing can continue to start soaring. So there's that. You're punching keys. What do we got going on over there, my brother?
All right. I just got into DWTX, man. It's squeezing, guys, so I have to take out some through that. Good look here for DWTX. Finally getting a couple of decent entries and exits here. It's dancing with 13.55 HOD on DWTX. It's up 375% now. Joseph, it's about to go 400% as it's coming back into that $0.50 again. Wow, this is strong right now on DWT. What are you giggling about, bro? What happened?
No, we're slow to the dance. The chat is going off. Right. Yeah, we're a little bit slow, and that's all we can say.
All right. My SMR trade is done, guys. Wow. Okay, I'm going to talk about SMR in a second. DWTX continues to go 13.93 now. HOD. It's about to take out 14s. 14.01 now, the high of the day. It's continuing to go. Okay, I'm not going to keep announcing every high of the day because it just keeps printing out new ones. Good strength right now on this name. It's going to halt at 29s. Let's see if this is a false halt over here. Size showing up. It is a false halt. It goes up to 39s now. I still don't really understand how that works. But in any event, anyway, topping till into 14.39, down into the $0.75. Can it reclaim and hold above 14? I was wondering the same thing about 13s. But anyway, keep an eye out on this one. Good move right now for DWTX midday. It was a bamboozler earlier on for me. I'm still negative on it, trying to work my way out of this. But good strength right now, finally coming in to these small cap gappers. All right. I'm also in, I just got out of SMR. So we're in at the $0.25 on SMR. I got it at VWAP at 27.25. We just took out the last position here at 28. I don't think that dip trade at 27.25 is valid anymore. SES, though, is coming back down below VWAP, and I'm still involved in that bad boy. So we just got stopped out of that, because that one did break VWAP. The only reason I got into SES because it reclaimed the volume weighted average price. So I was trying to use that as my basically my entry reason. So keep tabs on that. LTBR, I'm still involved in that one. Coming in below 9 though, very small size on that. Trying to work my way in because it's putting in higher highs and higher lows. I perceive it to be bouncing off the 10 exponential moving average. So we're gonna work into that one right now. Get a bit of a dip trade. This one's a 4-penny spread. So it's not it's not letting me in quite yet over here on my dip trade at 88s, showing me 94s right now on LTBR, up 23%. This one's been consistent in the higher lows and higher highs. I also feel it's been consistent with its respect for the 10 exponential moving average. Does that hold? We'll have to wait and see. I'm still packing my patience on this one. I'd like to get something around here because we're out of the money. So we definitely have to add into this area over here. Right back into 9 we go. Okay, so good entry entry right now on LTBR. Definitely would have liked 88s a lot better, but we were not going to complain too much about that. Adara's at the big desk.
We're going to look here at Playboy because there actually is a little bit of a pop here. And while we're here, we may as well look at some of these other small caps. I actually yelled this at Sharif because it happened during Neil's listen of the day. Didn't want to interrupt. But PLBY up about 7% here. Basically what happened was it did announce it will be back on shelves starting in February. So very soon you can find PLBY apparently back on shelves. About 1.3 million shares traded on the day. 3% short float. DWTX, which we know Sharif has been talking about here as well. Dogwood Therapeutics. This one actually is a very small float of about 722,000 shares, relative volume of 703. So pretty intense ARVO for this ticker here. There's also this MCTR we'll take a look at as well. Actually halted here. Control Group Limited, so beware of this one as well. Only about 3 million shares traded on the day and a market cap around $100 million, guys, for MCTR. We'll take a look at IWM too while we're here. IWM, nice recovery here off the lows, but running into a little bit of yesterday's resistance areas around that 229 level. Back to you.
Good times, guys. Jay Lee, I tried pulling up DWTX, and for some reason my chain it's not allowing me to. I can't even find anything on that within the options chain. Is there any specific reason? If you do know, please chime in, because I am looking for it. And yeah, as of right now, it's like this is what's pulling up. If we can pull up my screen here. Again, just not allowing me to pull up the chain on DWTX. Jay Lee, Chuckles, it's hard to stay composed after that one. It was funny stuff. But guys, here we are with NVDA starting to pull back here as well through the volume weighted average price. A little bit weak here in the market. We're giving up some of those earlier gains in the session. My Quest trade shows March 21st expiry options, but adjusted. I don't understand. Yeah, that's interesting. I can't even pull the chain up, Jay Lee, so I don't know why that is. But Tesla's absolutely tanking here, guys. Let's take a look at Tesla. TSLA. We have it. Oh, okay. TSLA. Here's Tesla. Really headed to the downside, breaking through some key support levels, punching through that pre-market low, and that volume starting to kick in on those lower timeframes and on the 5-minute as well too. So totally justifiable price action. This is what we would classify as a genuine move almost here in Tesla. We have really weak bearish candles with those high volume signatures to the downside. Tesla giving up a lot of its gains here with a high of about just under 480 was the all-time high on Tesla. I believe 434 as of recently. So there's that. Tesla extremely weak, waiting for this thing to continue and hopefully recover at some point. So yeah, the overall market starting to pull back. NVDA weak as well too, guys. Let's take a look at Meta, because the market isn't selling off as quick as kind of NVDA and Tesla are. So Meta holding up relatively strong. Zoom in and see what we got going on from a 5-minute standpoint. Yeah, pulling back as well too. You can see the connection between everything here, how the SPY and some of these big tech names look. All identical price action, so almost mirroring each other at that point. So Meta, and then we'll take a look at Google before we send it back to my guy. And Google pulling back as well too. But the SPY and the Qs are holding up extremely. I have a double SPY up here. So there we are with the Qs. Pretty much tracking the rest of these big tech names. So here we are.
Yeah, this is it right here. I'm just going to show this quickly. Yeah. Like he has to make an actual fire. Sometimes they give him certain tools, right? So they'll give him like what do they call that? A metal match. I forget what it's called. You guys in the chat will know.
The flint. Yeah. Flint. Yeah.
It's like made of magnesium. It has like a 2,000 degree spark. Sometimes they'll have to make it using a bow drill. Sometimes they'll have to use do that. So there's just so many different ways, and each situation is different. They give them different tools in different contexts, and there's a scenario behind it. So it's like, okay, you were an eco-tourist in I don't know, the jungles of South
Whatever.
America,
Yeah.
Or you're, I don't know, your plane crashed in northern Ontario and you got to survive the cold. So you have to do all these different things. You got to build a shelter. You got to get a fire going. So like all these minimum requirements for survival.
So you would love Survival Man then?
Survivor Man is amazing.
He's
He's
amazing.
Canadian.
Yeah, he's Canadian.
Yeah,
man.
and you know how hard that is? He's got to shoot it
Do
himself.
you see what he does when he's shooting those videos?
gotta
It's like,
carry
he's like,
camera equipment.
he'll walk all the way up there, walk back to the scene, walk back, and then get
Literally.
everything. So you would love what we used to do. It was something called the Eco Challenge.
Okay.
All right. So it was like two. It was split up into two groups. So it worked out to be a 10K run. But on this 10K run through the bush, you had to do a bunch of things. So you had to build a shelter, start a fire, and all these other like activities.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's such a great experience. And in the meanwhile, you have to complete this run, and your whole team needs to cross the finish line in order for you to run to win. Yeah, really fun stuff. Yeah. So it's called the Eco Challenge, and really, really good.
That sounds insane, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of my thing, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're keeping an eye here on DWTX. So just to punch in, it takes out 15s, 1560 now, Neil. 430%. I don't know why I'm yelling to Neil over here, but the fact is I need to tell somebody that this thing is moving. 420%, 430% Ram. Now it's continuing to go even more. It's trying to defend 15 or reclaim $15, but it is below it right now. Great move up right now for DWTX. It continues to go. It really is getting away, extended away from that 10 exponential moving average. And that's something that I keep my eye on, is kind of like an informal gauge of overbought and oversold conditions for these small cap gappers. The 10 exponential right now is hanging out at $11 with the high of the day, obviously 1560. We're trading at 1450. So we are getting a little bit away from that 10 exponential. So I do anticipate that there will be some sort of a retracement down onto this bad boy over here. How deep and where, your guess is good as mine, but we're going to keep an eye out on this one to possibly set up again. DWTX is a dang rocket ship. The Piper, look up Britt Ray Mars, solid survival guy. Absolutely, I'm going to copy your message right now so that I don't forget to do that. Thank you for suggesting that. I'm always down to watch new survival shows, man. I'm all about that life, and every different character or person in these survival shows has their own methodology for survival, and you always learn a whole bunch by watching different individuals do their thing. 21, as Adara would say. So that's the situation right now. Get it, Adara. Guys, it's going to take out $16. Whoo! Good move up right now for DWTX into 1597. Strong name. We're going to try to get in here. If it'll have us at 1550, maybe we can take that 1550 and pop above 16. It is not forthcoming to the downside quite yet. Let's see if this one wants to continue to run. 16 incoming. 16 is about to go. There goes 16. 1649, the high of the day. This thing is on one. I don't know what it's on, but it's on something, and it's really taking it to the high side. We're about to hit 500%. There goes 17, guys. 1729 now. 510%. This is squeezing like crazy.
Oh, wow.
Talk about getting extended away. No, this is going to halt. It showed it was going to halt for a second. 78's okay. Not going to halt at 78. It's a lot of false halts on this bad boy, I've noticed on the day. This is giving you a lot of opportunities to either make or lose money very quickly. I hope everybody's exercising sound risk management who's trading this right now. Good strength, Joseph, for DWTX.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the options chain on this thing, and it's just not working. Jay Lee keeps asking me to... So, DWTX has adjusted option strike 750 price on March 21st. Please explain. I can't see the special terms of the adjustment. Perhaps there was a split slash revenue split. Yeah, I don't need. I'm going to be frank with you. I don't even know what's going on with DWTX. Yeah, I have no idea, and I can't even pull up the options chain on it. Someone said that between broker and dealer that they are not allowing anything on the options chain because I can't even pull it up. It's not allowing me to, so it's just saying it's not available. So yeah, Sharif, if you have anything on it, there you go. We're up over 500% on the session, so that definitely has something to do. Yeah, so I can't do anything. Yeah, I can't chime in on it. So. It's now halted. Yeah, there we go. DWTX halted, guys, but we're still in some Amazon short. Let's see what we got going on. Maybe if something pops up, I'll definitely talk about it J-Lee, because I know you've been asking. So as of right now, I can't really do anything about that. Talking about something else someone else said, RGTI. Yeah, let's pull back RGTI and see what we got going on with that. Yeah, doing nothing, trailing the overall market. Nothing outlying here on RGTI. We know how in play it was for the past month or so. So not really doing anything right now, and it can't be in play all the time. So just keep that in mind. Let's see what else everybody else is looking at. Mara, yeah, let's take a look at some of these Bitcoin miners, especially with some potential news coming up here. Mara, let's see what Mara is up to on the session. And I have a general idea of what it is up to, and it's probably not too much here, guys. Here's the 5-minute. Really nice breakout here, though, Sharif. On Mara, trading as low as 1907, so we'll call it 19 flat here, all the way up to 2085. So there we go. Here is Mara. Let's take a look from the daily and zoom out what we got going on, and still within that range. So until we get out of this range, I wouldn't even be looking to participate in this thing unless something really, really gets this stock going. The break of these highs is when again, and that could be even too late. But again, if we run into new price discovery, then here enough, we're going to have to punch through these levels. And then sure enough, that's where I'll look to participate in it. But as of right now, I'd rather play spot itself and IBIT than some of these miners because they're just chopping around and somewhat of a choppy mess there.
Absolutely. We're still waiting here. DWTX halted at $18.25. I saw one that just made its way onto my scanner. A big mover as well. MCTR up 75%. Ugly topping tail candle into 844. What I perceive to be support at 7 1/4. There's a couple of reasons for that. Look at that pre-market high really early on light volume at around 4 a.m. But this is what I'm looking at here. These prints at 740 and 755, they all worked up to 7 1/4, which basically shadows the look earlier at 4 a.m. So I'd love something around 7 1/4 on a dip. Now maybe 7 1/3. We might not get 7 1/4 quite yet. But MCTR, guys, big mover up on the day. What is this company? I don't have no information on this company at all. Okay, I only have the shares. I don't even have market cap. I don't have the float. I have nothing. MCTR, what is this? Control Group Limited. Yeah, Trade Ideas doesn't have any information on it either. Yeah, so we'll trade this one carefully here if we trade it at all because this one's looking like a bit of a bamboozler here with that 7 1/2 dip. Let's load it up on a trading screen and see what the spread is like and what everything else looks like over there. HIMX, I'm going to keep that bad boy on. We'll take off SMR. So we'll put MCTR, which trades on the NASDAQ. So it's widespread, about 40 pennies right now. Yes, I know there. Here it goes, back into 8. Okay, so this is squeezing right now. The high of the day is 844. It defended 7 1/4 like a dang T. So good look right now on this name. Adara is at the big desk.
I have another small cap gapper for you, Sharif. It's a little bit of a different type of mover, but I did see it creeping up here on the volume scanner, and I think this chart set up as a great look here on the 15-minute. Vigil Neuroscience, VIGL, coming here into previous resistance at that $2.50 level, some higher lows. Basically here this morning announcing that their candidate for Alzheimer's treatment is apparently showing an encouraging safety profile. They're going to be starting a mid-stage study on this by Q3. So VIGL making some apparently progress with his Alzheimer's treatment. 21 million share float, 3.6% short float, relative volume of 350. So VIGL may be one to add to the side chart. Love to see if it can get it at this 250. Back to the Bash Brothers.
I appreciate that, Adara. Thank you for calling that out. Small cap gapper. All right, we're nicely in the money. We're 40 pennies in the money here on MCTR. Let's see if this one wants to take out the highs. I'm seeing a whole bunch of resistance at 70. I'm waiting in front of 9. So we're long 830s. It's showing me 72s, 77s now on the ask. Let's see if it can continue above there. It's having a whole bunch of trouble breaking above that level. The spread is opening up, which is quite dangerous, showing me 70s and then 40s for a second there. Again, moving into 70s and unable to take out that level. There is obviously a seller in the low 70s. Let's see if we can continue to trend in that direction and take them out. No. So that seller too big to basically take out at this level right now. 97% in Greensville, or 99% now in green or up on the day is MCTR, back into the 70s. Now, here's the deal. Every time we get into the 70s, we're about a penny lower than we were last time. That means that aggressive seller is moving down incrementally, 1 penny at a time, or so it seems, to prevent us from rising. Let's see if a bigger buyer can step in, move them out of the way, because we're unable to. Obviously, we are a market observer, not a market mover. So we're going to keep an eye out on this one. I want to see if this one can run above that 71 penny area. 71 is the high of the day, and it's having a whole bunch of trouble taking out 71s right now, Joseph. So keeping my eye on this one.
Hey, good luck there, my friend. Guys, we got the Playmaker poll up as well, too. We don't want to forget that. 781 votes, doing a good job so far, but we only got 13 minutes. Let's get that up to that 1K benchmark that we like on the Playmaker poll. Let's pull out some iBid. People are talking about Bitcoin and some of the other meme coins really starting to trade higher. Sure enough, here we are holding the volume weighted average price almost to a T, now climbing higher. Are we going to go and test that high of day? As of right now, it looks like it's going to be the case. Do we have some news at 2:30 regarding the crypto space? Possibly. Let's see how the overall market reacts to this. Adara's got some news for us, so let's see what she's up to.
Actually, we're just going to take a moment here. Speaking of crypto, to thank Hive Digital Technologies. Hive Digital Technologies, which trades on the NASDAQ as HIVE, is pioneering the digital transformation to sustainable AI solutions in Bitcoin mining. A global leader in cutting-edge data center operations with over 2,700 Bitcoin on their balance sheet, Hive consistently tops the industry in Bitcoin mined per exahash and is redefining the future by powering the world's most transformative technologies with efficient, green, and clean energy. Learn more by following them at Hive Digital Tech or at hivedigitaltech.com and sign up for the Hive newsletter for updates. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Adara.
Yeah, someone in the chat asked a good question here. So Ezekiel Lepra, Joe, do big boys target individual retail accounts? I have been on a long losing streak. Whether I am short, long, I lose even if I am neutral. Help. So there we go. This is where that playbook, go back and watch the lesson, refine what we have going on for your trading. If you're on a losing streak, mitigate that risk, scale down in risk, all right? So you don't want to be pushing heavier when you are on a losing streak. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that, Ezekiel, but man, do we ever, where are these going? Straight to the bicep, guys. So yeah, it's a lot of wings, a lot of protein for the boys, for the gym session and hockey tonight. Thank you. Whoa. Okay. She
I like her says bag secured.
Yeah, bag secured. Look, yeah, bag secured. Because here we are with the boys. We got it. The protein is in. We got what we need. Thank you to all those people who sent the super chat in the wings. You sent us this. We're gonna bring it, and there's a lot in here. This bag isn't. It's actually not too light. Yeah, it's exactly so. Yeah, we can. Hey, eat a wing, do a curl with the other bag, and there we go. So we're killing two birds with one stone on that one. Are we doing a taste test here, or
I don't know.
All right. Yeah, because once it's like a chip, right? Because once you have one, you always have to have another one. So
there you go.
So maybe we'll hold off. But here we go. Thank you guys for the super chat.
Get it.
Where flavor gets its wings. Bang. Here we are. Wingstop.
Bang.
This is my
Here
first
we go,
time.
baby.
This is my first time having Wingstop, eh?
What?
Yeah.
For real? There's one by my house now. It was where Popeyes shut down.
Popeyes shut down.
Opened up.
Oh, well.
Guys, MCTR, we're about 50 pennies in the money on this one. It's continuing to run. I just got back in at 770 after getting stopped out. I'm waiting now at 45s. It's showing me 40s. Come on, bro. Boom. There it is. We take it out there. Still negative on the day, but we're trying to do the best we can over here. So, guys, couple of things. DWTX is halted to the upside. It's up 732%. It's halted at $23.30. MCTR is up 105%. So now we're getting the small cap gappers really chiming in. It's got triple eights, HOD. There's a seller at 89 right now. Let's see if it halts here. Showing me a lot of red on triple eights right now. Let's see if this bad boy halts. We've had a lot of false halts on the day. The Katina man wants to
get these. No, you're honest. Yeah, no. Honestly, you have that. You have to get that out of here. I'm like salivating with these things sitting beside me. That's not fair. I can't. Yeah, that's
the smell.
yeah.
Dude,
it's the smell. It's not easy.
Guys, we're zigging and zagging here with 89s and 88s. It keeps showing me like it's gonna halt. but the halt parameter not triggering right now. It's moving up to 88 and then 89 on the ask. Looks like it won't halt at this level. Back down into a $0.50 we go. MCTR, I have no information on this. I don't know what the float is. I don't know what the market cap is. I only can tell you what it's traded on the day in terms of volume. It's about 4.8 million shares so far. Here we go with 88s again. This is the level we were rejecting last time, 88 and 89. I've seen nothing higher on the ask on the day, at least for now. 88s and 89s. Let's continue to watch that. Still rejecting that 88s. There's somebody selling up a storm here at 88s, man. And they're very, very large because we're unable to move up above it. But it's not posted, obviously, on the level 2. It's an iceberg order, a hidden seller, in other words. Great move up right now on MCTR. Let's keep an eye out on this one, Joseph. The small cap gappers are they're in vogue right now, man. That's just the way it is. Again, 88s, again rejecting. Wow.
All right, yeah, but I don't know about you, man, but I'm struggling over here now. Have food. Yeah, you don't want that. Don't leave food around me. That's for sure. Yeah, Selena has to hide her snacks because they will be gone very quickly. But yeah, here we are, guys, still holding on to this Amazon position. Let's see if we can break down a little bit more. If we come any more past our break even, we're going to get out of this and then reassess the situation. We do have IBIT absolutely soaring to the top side here.
Top side?
Yeah, top side. Looking like it might go and test these highs of days. So enjoying this one. Really, really, really want Bitcoin to break out here. We do have this consolidation phase here, guys. So let's keep that in mind. If we break and sit on top of this range, I do think that we're going to break out this all-time high print that we have around 109K and then continue to move to the northeast there, guys. So again, if we break that range, I'm going to say it one more time. I think we go into the teens and that's it. Let's move on to something else and see what the overall market is doing. So now, what a massive recovery here on the Qs, guys. Looking really good from an intraday standpoint. Still slightly red on the session just due to the gap down. But here we are. Trading higher. Are we going to go and test these highs of days? It all depends, guys. We still need 130 votes to get that 1K, and then we're going to document our 30th, I think, the benchmark 30th playmaker poll. Those are all going to be gone by the time.
Yeah, bro. Those lemon peppers.
Guys, they're all going to be gone.
Hungry.
Yeah, starving, absolutely starving. Those are all going to be gone by the time that we get there. So, all right, I appreciate it. Eat them. I'm only joking. What do you got there?
Good. A little bit of weight.
Hey, the
Where's that?
man just got back from the gym.
20 minutes on the elliptical.
That's all right. So would you do some dips? You said it looked like you were doing the dip motion there.
Well, he was
Okay.
weight.
Well, you went like this after. Okay. Some flies. Some flies. All right. Nice.
Some chest. Okay.
Yeah, you know when I like this?
Oh yeah, rows. Some rows. Let's go. Bang.
Bro, those are all excellent,
Bang.
man.
And
That's all right. Hey, it does. No, it absolutely does matter, though. I like to. Yeah. What do you mean it doesn't matter? So yeah, dude, Junior, I'm not playing, man. Now they go over to Neil. He's killing it there.
Neil can't be trusted with those wings up there. Neil's already eating. Bro.
He's already into the lemon peppers. Yeah.
He's already knee deep in those wings.
Sharif is the wing police right now. We have to be. Hey, we can't do anything, so we got to monitor these guys to make sure that they're not eating all the good wings because it's dangerous. You don't want to mess with it. Yeah, you don't want to mess with us when it comes to these wings and the protein, man.
Hungry man.
Yeah, hungry man. So what do you got going on?
Guys, DWTX opened. It is headed to the downside, at least for now. 2246 high of the day. Oh, I misspoke. 2572. It's up 806%,
Wow.
Katina, man. I don't know what's going on over here, but this thing is going 850% now. 2680, the high of the day. This is one hell of a squeeze. Here we go to 900%. We're awfully close. There's 900%, Joseph.
Wow.
We're about to hit 1,000% on this. You know what? So
Wow.
what a move up on this name. Unreal. Good strength right now on DWTX. MCTR still halted to the upside, guys. We're going to keep an eye out on that. We're going to spend the money for Tyrone Hamilton. It looks like he's printing up several storms. I'm assuming you're trading DWTX, my friend, because this one is absolutely in vogue right now. Keep your eye on it. It could be $2, $3 in the money within seconds. Here we go with the high of the day again. We're at $0.75. There is a seller at 75, unable to take him out. We take him out. Oh, no. No, that was 27. My mistake. 28.75 is where the seller is, dropping $2. Quick as you like. That's what I mean. You could be $2 and $3 in or out of the money within a quick second. Keep your eye out on this one, guys. Very strong name, very volatile, very directional. Likely big short squeeze right now. I should give you guys the details on it again as I have it. The float on this bad boy is about 26 million shares. So that's not really that small. It's small, but it's not that small. So my assumption is that this is likely a short squeeze. Somebody with a large position short is really getting taken out. But here we're about $4 off, $5 off now, the high of the day. And it looks like we might hold to the downside over here as we drop aggressively into 22.5. Lots of volatility. We're going to give up 22. Oh, baby, this is dropping.
Wow.
$8 just like that. It's going to halt right to the downside right now at 74. 20.74 I'm talking about right now. If we continue within the halt parameter, it's got to be this way for 10 seconds. Sometimes we get a false halt though, right? We get into that level and then it markedly changes because someone comes in with a big buy or sell order and then it shoots up again. No, now we are halted to the downside officially. 20.74, the halt level right now. The high of the day, 28.75. And this is the ugly result of what could happen if you get caught with this. Sorry, give me a second over here. I'm trying to get my other screen. It's not complying. That's why. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I just want to show you this topping tail candle. There we go. That we have here on it. Yeah, this is what could happen. I mean, if you don't exercise sound risk management skills, because if you're in this and you're looking for that $29 break, and then all of a sudden 2 seconds later, it's at $20. Yeah. So that's what could happen. It was almost up 1,000%. Now it's back down to 640. That's the kind of volatility you can get with these bad boys. Keep your eye out. And I want to let you know that I'm back in to LTBR. Let's see, did we get a print? Yeah, we got a print. So we're back in at $9 because it did curl up. It did curl off the 20 exponential moving average and then retook that, what's it called? That $9 level again. Now I'm waiting at 15s. Let's see if we can get the print at 15s. And then I'm going to wait in the higher or the mid, what's it called? Mid 920s. Sorry, guys. Just losing my thinking here. Adara's at the big desk.
We're going to take a look here at crypto. This is going to be our crypto segment because there's been so much happening with crypto today. In case you missed it, right after the open, we had a nice little pump up here in BTC. It's kind of around this time of day. Basically, what happened here was Senator Cynthia Loomis of Wyoming posted a tweet saying big things are coming, but the B was actually not a B. It was the Bitcoin symbol B with the little ticks. Anyways, then basically tweeting saying get ready for 10 a.m. Then she actually deleted the big things are coming tweet, so deleted the implications of crypto. Basically what happened is people found out that at 10 a.m., as she alluded to, there was going to be a vote as to whether or not Cynthia Loomis, who is very pro-Bitcoin and is viewed as very bullish for Bitcoin, was actually voted as to whether or not she was going to be the head of the Digital Asset Subcommittee on the Senate. It is unclear what the results of that vote were. We haven't heard anything else, but interesting note here, keep an eye on Cynthia Loomis's Twitter activity with regards to Bitcoin. Then the other thing here for Bitcoin that was in watch were comments from President Donald Trump here at Davos. He did apparently mention crypto during the speech, but he didn't actually say anything with regards to his crypto policies. So that was, I guess, a little bit of a disappointment. But people are keeping an eye out here for 2:30 p.m. There are some reports that Donald Trump will be signing an executive order at 2:30 p.m. I guess what this order is about has been undisclosed. People are hoping that it will be a Bitcoin executive order, but with every executive order that is not Bitcoin related, some of this enthusiasm does seem to dampen. So we'll have to find out here 4 days into Donald Trump's presidency. Will a Bitcoin related executive order finally get signed? Either way here, we do have some clear rejection of that 107 area here on the 15-minute chart. We rejected it first going back to Monday after the inauguration with some lower highs off the new all-time high, then rejecting it again here on Tuesday once again. On Thursday, can we finally break that 107,000 level? We'll have to wait and find out. Back to you.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Adara. So 2:30 going to be a possibly big news event, or maybe just be a
Probably
nothing
not.
burger there, guys. But here we go. SPY climbing higher. Seems to be the narrative of the session. Buy any dip on this thing because it is about to tap into those all-time highs here, guys. So yeah, and Bitcoin also, IBIT here, starting to climb slightly higher. So continue to monitor those. NVDA bouncing off of the volume weighted average price, and Tesla's still kind of lagging its peers. Oh, well, not kind of, it is lagging its peers. Here we are in Tesla, just not in play right now. We need that volatility to step it back into this thing and then continue to the top side. Let's zoom out and see what we got going on from a daily perspective. So here we go. Am I going to classify this as a failed new high? Not just yet. Maybe this is a pullback. That volume is starting to fall off this cliff here. So those volume signatures dwindling day by day. That can be classified as a healthy pullback. So we'll continue to monitor what's going on with Tesla because we will know when it decides that it wants to turn around in price. You'll see that volume step in, and sure enough, we can go and possibly test this 490, 489, 490 level. And I think it's only a matter of time until Tesla hits all-time highs, but let's go take a look at what we got going on for earnings season. Our earnings tonight, we have TXN right at 4 p.m. sharp there, guys, and then nothing else overly crazy. Intuitive Surgical ISRG at 4:05, CSX at 4 o'clock as well too. So not too bad. TXN we'll keep an eye on and see what happens with that one because I think that one's going to be important as well too for the semi space. And then bright and early in the morning, we have Verizon, American Express, and yeah, that's all I'll be looking at, VZ and AXP for tomorrow morning. And then let's see, tomorrow's Friday. So yeah, tomorrow, Friday, usually don't get anything after the bell on Fridays unless it's really bad news. And I forget which company reported after the bell on Friday not too long. I think it was a quarter or two ago, and yeah, it was just horrendous news. So they try to swindle that in and sneak in that bad news when no one's really paying attention on a Friday evening.
Yeah, that's kind of their modus operandi. Interesting. All right, here we go. Keeping an eye, guys, on DWTX. I think is open. It's going to halt to the upside. No, so it's back up. It's off the halt level low, which was 20 and change. It's at 21 and change right now. Let's keep an eye on this one. It's defending $20, not all that badly at this level. So I'll have to keep an eye out on that one. But I want to talk about SMR. Here it is. Okay, they're nice trade. So I got into SMR over here. How many shares do I have? I don't want to take out too many. All right, so decent move here on SMR. We're about 30 pennies in the money, give or take. I got into SMR here. One reason only. It was at the volume weighted average price. It had defended that level before, so I just wanted to put the odds on my side. Took a couple of prints already on this bad boy. Got in, I think, 46s. Took a print at 77s. Now I'm waiting at 82s. I'd like to see if this one can take out 28. So we kind of got a rounded top last time at 28. So we did breach it. I don't want to say decisively. We did breach it technically, but we weren't really able to stay above 28. I'm talking about SMR and the $28 level, which has acted as both resistance and support. So initially, $28 was support. It looked really good over here. You could have bounced off 28 multiple times and taken multiple prints off that level, but then it all hell broke loose. It broke below $28, and then it started using 28 as resistance. Go, baby. There we go. We take up that level. Now we're going to wait at 92s. We're long at 46. Let's see if we can print up into that 92 area. I just saw 90s show up on the ask here on SMR. Not a bad move off VWAP. Give you 50 pennies quick as you like. Let's see if there's continuity, though. I mean, because I just finished talking about how $28 was an area of resistance. So we're awfully close to that level, about 15 pennies away. So that's why I'm de-risking here in the low 90s, or at least I'm trying to, if it can work it up into that level. So 85s right now showing up on the ask, about 50 or about 100 lots from what we can see, likely a lot more as an iceberg hidden order, okay? So we'll keep tabs on SMR at this level. I'm also involved in LTBR. It's gonna have to hold up above that $0.75 level, otherwise we're gone. I do like how it's holding the 20 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart, but it's not breaking above that $9 area. Or it's having a whole lot of trouble breaking above that $9 area. Let's go back to some of these other big boy movers. I'm talking about MCTR. It's now open again, unhalted after dropping below $8, back into 8 1/3. This is a big winner, guys. It's up 89%. It's not DWTX big in the sense that it's not up 733%, but yeah, we'll definitely look to execute on that if it is appropriate. But I want to mention DWTX as well. Even though it's got this ugly topping tail candle over here, it looks very bull flaggish on the 5. And that might sound crazy. You're like, Sharif, bull flag, it's up 750%. How many moves up do you want? Well, it's not even touching the 10 exponential, which is at $19. It's not even working its way down there. So this looks to me like a big move up. Then we get a sideways consolidation, and then possibly move up again. This could be the first, I think, quadruple digit winner of the year. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I think we're 23 days deep into the year and we haven't had 1,000% winner yet. Not that I recall. I don't think, and I've been trading these small cap gappers almost every day, so I think I would remember.
This year?
Yeah.
Oh, this year?
Quadruple?
No,
Yeah,
but last year I remember 1,000. Yeah, I remember late last year.
Yeah,
you had
100% we
one,
have.
yeah.
With that in mind, yeah. So that's the look right there. Involved in SMR, involved in LTBR. Here comes SMR again, possibly into my 92 penny area. 89 is now showing up on the ask. Okay, 91's now on the ask. It's going to have to cross by a couple of pennies, and there it is. We get printed. Good move up here on SMR. Only have one more out, so I'm going to wait to see if this one can take out 28 decisively. And my move here will be, since 28 has featured as both support and resistance on the day, if we take 28 decisively, I'm going to add into this position. All right, and this is not decisively. Like this example over here where we got above 28 for a second, then drop below, that is not what I mean when I mean decisively. It's gonna have to go up and stay above there. If it requires another 5-minute candle, we'll make a new high above 28, so be it, but I'm not gonna try to guess the situation with SMR like I did earlier. All right, let's go back now to MCTR. I think it's halted to the upside. MCTR halted to the upside, officially a triple-digit winner now, up 107%. What a move up off that $8 area here on MCTR. Good look, good look. Nothing to complain about there for this one. We're going to keep an eye to see if it can squeeze as aggressively as DWTX did. DWTX, by the way, looking like it's got support here at the $20 area. So I just finished saying this looks like a bull flag, and what the situation is, the low end of the range seems to be about 20, with the high end of the range about 23, maybe 23 and a half, give or take. So you get some rejections off 23, you get some bounces off 20s. Let's see what it does. If it wants to give us a big boy move up, then, you know, maybe we'll weasel in. Joseph, what do you got?
Weasel in, yeah, I like that. We got the new poll up as well, too, guys, so make sure to put that in for the afternoon rundown. Sharif, take a look at the position board there, my guy.
What's it doing? Your boy is inspired. There it is.
Let's go. There we go.
Bad.
No, it's all good. No, you got to go wash him. That's all right. So we'll deal with that there. Here we are sitting in the SPY. Let's pull it up here on our charts, guys. So we're up only about 0.2%, 0.2%, and that's about what we're off the all-time highs here, guys. So only about 0.2%. 0.2% off the all-time highs is the SPY. So continue to monitor. Can we push through? I think so. We don't have any earnings really after the bell that's going to give it that push to those numbers. But again, next week it's going to be a big week, and I do think that we climb higher and higher in the overall market. So especially if the fundamentals support that move, then we're going to see that. But guys, let's take a look at Apple. I was talking to Sharif about Apple this morning, and we gapped down and put in a nice hammer doji right here, guys, on Apple, down over 13% off the all-time highs as well, too, so about 15% from peak to trough there on Apple. So tough look here. I think the earnings report, as well as we were just talking about, is going to be really, really big for this company. When they do, which is in a week or two or so. I believe next Thursday is when they report. So we really have to monitor this. We're down quite a bit, so that's a hefty pullback. That's correction territory here in Apple. So let's see if we're going to get some tailwinds for this company and how the iPhone is doing. I think that's really important for this company to continue to climb higher. Other than that, a little bit of a tough look here in Apple, Sharif.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, tell me about it, baby. Okay, so I'm keeping my eye out on SMR as well as LTBR, but I'm back into DWTX over here. I just took up, where am I long? I'm long at the 48 pennies. I just took some out at 37, so we took almost $1 there. Still holding a position over here. Let's see if it can work its way back above 19. Having trouble with 19. Okay, here we go. D's. There we go. We get another print. Let's see if we can move up again. And now I'm waiting at $20. So we're long 1840. Here comes 1975. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go. Take out 20, baby. Bang! Taking out 20, Joseph.
Letting all the heat out back there.
What's that?
Ray,
put those things down, bro.
Letting all the heat out.
Ray was trying to take the win.
They're letting all the heat out on them, man. Come on, we're watching them. We're monitoring. We got our eyes back there.
Over there.
That's for
Joseph,
sure, man.
Trust it. I've been telling you guys for a long time. Nobody listens to me. Right? Stop telling her, Adara. All right, so here we go.
Getting narked on, man.
Adair always sides with Ram. I don't get it.
It's all right.
It's fine. Everything's fine. All right, guys. SMR is above $20 now. $28, excuse me. It's going into that $0.25. We're long 27.5. Good look from SMR. I said I'd add if it decisively held above 28. So I'm watching now. Can we get a 5-minute candle closing above 28? If we can, I will add at 28. Good look right now for SMR as it works its way back above 28. Again, 28 is an important level for me because I perceive it to be support and resistance on the day. If we can reclaim it after acting as a resistance, I think possibly be able to use that as my backstop. MCTR open, Joseph, and it's now up 134%. This is taking out highs as we speak. 1040 now showing up on the ask. There's a whole bunch going on. My goodness. What a day on these here markets, man. I got to take some profits right now on LTBR. We're long 901s. Finally, it comes back in to this area, and I'm going to hold off here. I'm going to let this one cook because I think I might have a good move here with LTBR. Taking out 17s. Okay, so we got the print there. It's going to have to take out the $0.25 next. Sorry, guys, to jump from one stock to the other. I do apologize, but I'm having to manage all these ones at the same time. Back to MCTR. It's going to halt. It is now officially halted to the upside at $10.74. The theoretical auction price showing up as $11. So buyer exuberance right now, 26 pennies, above the halt level. This one is now up a light 148%. Good look for all these names right now. Small cap gapper world in full effect today. You have 2 triple-digit winners. And, until about I think 10 minutes ago, we thought we might have our first quadruple-digit winner of the year. That it goes by the ticker DWTX. Down now, though, up to 630%, trying to hold above that $20 area. What I see, though, is lower highs. So what I see is area trough into 28 and almost 28 and 4/5, and then area trough into 25. These are crests. Area crest into 28, area crest into 25, and then area crest into 22. Let's see if we can break that lower high pattern by printing something above that 23.5. That's where the previous 5-minute candle tops out. The high of that candle, $23.5. So we'll keep tabs on that. Okay, SMR is really going here and holding above the $28 level decisively. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add here. So let's go. Let me see if I can add at 15s, if I can get a bit of a dip trade there and get a bit of a better price. It's a bit of a spready one. 15s now on the bid, Joseph. Let's see if it can cross down. Give me that print, and then maybe we can take something to the high side. We get the print. Good. All right, so now we have obviously a much higher cost basis than we did previously. So we're going to have to see what the situation is with this one, but I don't want anything lower than that $28 area, again, because that is the area of support and resistance that I'm earmarking, come what may. Joseph, what do you got?
Hey, good look here. We're putting our money where our mouth is right now, Sharif. We're just a couple shares, guys. Nothing crazy here in the SPY. We're talking about taking it, so here we are. You can see our entry price slowly climbing higher. Yeah, let's see how far we are. We might just touch all-time highs here on the SPY here, Sharif. Let's take a zoom out and see what we got going on. Nah, not just yet. Almost, though, guys. Almost. So all-time high, 608.99. We'll call it 609 flat just for fun. But, yeah. Beautiful day. Look at all these gap ups. I don't know how good this is for price action. This almost looks like a Chinese ADR right here with all these gap ups in between each session. So slightly alarming on that front. We got to continue to monitor that. But again, earnings season can climb the market higher. NVDA dragging the market up with it as well too. So good luck here on that front. Especially when these big names are moving, we mentioned this time and time again, they're going to drag the market up with it. But one thing that we need is the market to broaden out a little.